Have you ever prayed all night for death? Have you ever wanted? Have you ever felt needed? Have you ever been happy? Or are you just like me? Yeah, that fucking song, man. Hell yeah, right? It's called Love Falls. And yeah, I fucking did that for a reason. Because that's exactly how I feel, right? Considering the fact that I'm having to defend my very life from these fucking scumbags who call themselves my family, right? These fucking dirtbags who are making up just every fucking lie in the book that they can to try to destroy my character so that they can steal my inheritance from me. Yeah, I know, shouldn't be talking about this, but fuck, man, who else am I going to tell? Huh? No one. I don't have anyone. 100% alone. Yeah, how I've been able to survive here on my own is a fucking miracle. Literally. And I have nothing but another fucked up winter to look forward to, where I'm struggling to fucking make it every day because I have virtual scum doing everything they can to dog my heels. And now I have to hire a fucking attorney to defend my life from scum. But don't worry, because, there's one thing about lies is they don't stand up, especially in court. I'm not that worried, but this is going to drag on forever, right? It's already been a year and a half, and we still haven't even reached step one because of these scum. Okay, that I know they don't respect me, but their disrespect, their absolute disrespect for my mother, is what is really appalling, because they all claim to have, loved her. I mean, my one fucking retard brother, who's lived in Washington his whole life and been here in Alaska twice in the last fucking 40 years that I know of. I'm pretty sure I'm right. He acts like he knows everything. And no, he is literally, all right, check this out. He's literally signed a sworn statement requesting that I be removed from here, my own residence, and kicked out on the street. Can you believe that shit? This fucking retard. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You guys could probably tell where I'm at. I mean, I fucking fuck the news, right? Fuck. I know I put Erection Day up because it's a joke, and we all know it. And I don't even watch that anymore. I have enough fucking shit to keep me completely pissed off on a 24/7 basis. I don't have to look at the gigantic fraud that we all talk about here all the time, because I just can't. I can't fucking throw that on my back. I can't fucking heap that shit up, right? I have enough of my own personal bullshit happening that I don't need to heap that gigantic pile of shit on there. So yeah, the gigantic plate of shit they're trying to force me to eat is going to backfire on them, of course, but it's going to take years. Fuck. My cousin who went through the same goddamn thing took 7 years till the court finally just ruled for him, gave him full control, because it's exactly what needed to happen and probably going to happen here. And I'm not happy about it, because it's going to be a struggle just to get to that day. And I can't wait to get into the courtroom so I can literally dance upon their fucking faces. I see, this just proves how fucking stupid they are, right? They think just because they got together and heaped up their lies together that they're somehow going to stand. I mean, right? How fucking stupid can you be? But that's these folk, right? Like I said, I can no longer identify them as, I mean, I hate to even say that word because it goes with the whole fucking identity bullshit. But I can't. They're I'm no longer. I'm a family of one. I'm a solo, totally, because I have to look at it that way in order to save my own heart, right? My own broken heart. Whew. So yeah, probably gonna be a short stream, so I can cry some more. But I thank you guys for joining because this is it. You guys are it. You're all I got. Joey, fucking good to see you, man. Forgive me. Reb, oh my God, it's so good to see you too. Yeah, uh, tough for me here. Toughest fucking thing ever. Reb, you can tell me, Reg, I'm praying God's grace will carry us all. He's a merciful God. Yeah, fortunately, it takes a while, right? I mean, I would love to see this end immediately. And that's why I'm getting all my shit together. So hopefully we finally get to this first hearing, which is going to take forever to get to, but I want it to end there. Right. I can't fucking, right. And this is what they're counting on too, right? They're counting on trying to wait me out or starve me out or something, right? They're counting on fucking me so that they can steal everything from me. Right? It's a fucked up situation. And so I have to sit here and every day it's a struggle to figure out what I'm going to do next. Hey, Winmore, what's up? Glad to see you. So every day I'm literally racking my brain and working my fingers to the bone. And luckily I got a freaking drum order that has kept me alive again. Like I said, it's just every time it's just I go right to the bottom. I hit right to the bottom where I'm literally just scraping pennies and some miraculous thing will happen. Like I'll get another order or something, right? And I'll get to continue this fucking amazing blessed life that I get. Really, I didn't know what happened, but I hope you get some hope, Reg. Oh no, like I said, I know what's going to happen, but it's just going to take a long time to get there. And so I've got a mountain of shit to deal with between now and then. And like I said, I just told you, my cousin who went through the same damn shit, right? Where his whole family ganged up on him too, right? The one good one. And that's how it always is. I'm sure this court's seen this before, right? And that's the first thing I'm gonna say when I finally do get to speak my piece. I'm not gonna say a fuck damn thing until then, right? And so, yeah, when I finally do get to say my piece, it's going to be a really good one. And I mean, so it's so funny because these people act like they're so smart, right? They act like they're the smartest fuckers ever, and I'm just a dumb fuck, right? But look what they're doing. They fucking think their lies are gonna win. That right there is stupidity, right? And all the shit they made up, and they know better. Uh, they absolutely know better in their minds, but no, they're gonna stick with that shit to the grave. And so I'm coming to grips with it all, right? Coming to grips with it all. I knew it was going to be, you know, a battle, but of course you never prepared. Prepare all you want, but it fucking still hurts, and it does. It cuts the bone. And like I said, mostly because of the enormous amount of disrespect they're showing to my dear mother, right? My dear mother, who is a saint. She doesn't deserve this. She doesn't deserve to be slandered by these cunts, right? Posthumously. And it's so funny because a lot of their lies can be easily disproven because they're trying to say that I was mean and evil guy, right? And immediately, the first question is, why the fuck didn't you do something about it this whole time? Why don't you come run me out of here? Fucking make a police report, have me arrested, all this shit, right? Oh, you didn't even peep a word of it until a year later. It's so obviously a fraud. Fuck. A retard could figure it out, much less a judge, right? Judge, I'm sure they've seen this multiple times before. It's gonna be their first fucking rodeo. They see all these people from out of town come and gang up on the one person who lives here. And I mean, yeah. See, and I know why they're pissed off too, because see, back in 2015, when I did come back here, my mother was she was in rough shape. In her own words, she was ready to die, right? And when I saw the condition he was in, I cried, right? And so I immediately fucking got my dumb ass to work and bought all the supplements and everything she needed. But not only that, I began to cook good, nutritious meals for her because all she was eating was fast food because that's all she had the strength to go and get, right? And you know how long that's gonna last. So immediately got her off that shit and started cooking her nutritious meals. And you know, I started growing microgreens, all this shit, right? Just fucking got to work. And within a few months, she was much better. And within a year, she was completely recovered. And she lived for another 7 years on top of it. And in excellent shape, right? None of them admit it to, right? They'll say, oh, right? This is how scummy they are. But everybody else on earth noticed it, especially her friends, right? They're all like, damn, you're what's going on with you? You're looking good. You're spry. Your energy. And she'd tell them, right? And so, of course, her friends would believe her, but these scumbag pieces of dog shit that are supposedly related to me, I don't know how. Of course, uh, they'll never believe anything that comes from me, right? And that's why I stopped talking to them altogether because it's pointless. Because they'll they'll force themselves to believe the untruth just so they don't have to believe anything from me, right? Isn't that fucked up? A retard was smarter, right? And so, yeah, it's nothing new, but the new thing is just how much hatred they literally have for my dear mother, right? Because I mean, it's only obvious. I mean, that she lived in this house her whole life and she built this place up. She This is her freaking home. This is her legacy. And it's only obvious that she doesn't want it sold and so they can get a few bucks and jam it up their cunt holes. Right? No. And that's why she even asked me this years ago, right? Will you stay here? I said, hell yes, I will. I go, I didn't want to, but I made the decision then too, right? If that's, I know that she wanted her legacy to go on and that for perhaps some of her further down the line generation to get, you know, maybe somebody might be able to come and stay here, right? Not anybody from my fucked up generation, right? No, of course not. None of those dumb cunts would even come here, right? They fucking can't stand this place. Even my fucking holier than thou sister wouldn't even spend a night in here. She's just fucking completely shudders at thought of it. And so, right? They would come here. They would do anything. They'll lie to you and say, "Oh, fuck, oh, I helped mom from 3,000 miles away, way more than that rat bastard who cooked her every meal and showed honor to her, right? Helped her get back her health, helped her with everything. Oh no, here scum, he intimidated her, control. Mm. It's all projection. I can't read their statements to you or anything like that, but it's all projection, right? It's literally that. I mean, it's so how they say that's usually what it is, and goddamn, it's sure the fuck truth, right? They're projecting onto me everything how fucked up they are, and it's just so obvious. But no, see, this is what we've talked about this before too. And once you get enough chemicals in your brain, that the truth is literally so foreign to you that your brain can't even possibly accept it. We've talked about this. The true scientists, not the fake fucking fraud ones, few of them out there, right, have literally proven this. That once your brain gets bound with so many toxins, all these different fucking estrogen mimickers, plastic, all that shit, metals, that it literally fuses. I mean, the brain can no longer function the way it was designed As a matter of fact, exact opposite, right? And so the truth to them is foreign thing, right? They can't even accept it. They can't. The brain can't even digest it, right? And so it's pointless. That's why I never talked to them, right? And no, I know they've just been sitting there plotting, right? Ever since I came back and saved mom from them first time because they were trying to put her into the retirement home and get their hands on the property then. And I foiled that, so the hatred has been building for a long time. So, yeah, pay the legal fees. Yeah, for sure. I know they should. They should have to help with some of the goddamn fucking expenses that I incur here. You know, it's like with home, fuck, constant upkeep. I've had to spend every fucking penny that I make just to keep this fucking place floating, right? And yeah, my fucking retard brother, "Oh, have it removed and just close it up and turn everything off and save money." Dude, that's not how it works. You retard. It's fucking Alaska. Fucking the 90-mile-an-hour wind that's coming in a few months, right? Fuck. You got to defend the property. Fucking tree falls on this motherfucker, breaks a window, boom. Everything in it's toast. Right? That's how retarded this fuck is, right? Can't leave property undefended. Dude, our mailboxes just got broke into last week. The tweakers are creeping in. Any place is going to be a fucking abandoned? You know how long that's going to last? Yeah. Um, no, yeah, I got all that planned. Not to worry. It's just, do you know how long down the line that's going to be, though? How long it's going to be before I realize anything from 'em? Yeah. And when I do win, you know, you get this property, and you think they're going to fucking do anything then? Right? Like they should have? No, fuck no. They'll be like, "Oh fuck you, you ripped us off." Is the way they look at it. So fucking stupid, right? But this is the state of the fucking world. And this is why I tell you, don't go through this. If you have any assets whatsoever and you have beneficiaries, establish a trust now. Establish a trust now because the trust pass seamlessly to the beneficiaries the moment you die. Not you don't have to sit here and I'm fuck they're milking this shit out, right? Literally trying to because they're trying to starve me out. And that's could be possible, right? I'm not sure that I can keep this going. Right? I have to fucking searching for a job right now. So if I don't get a good enough one, because it takes a lot to live on your own. Now, this is why nobody does it. This is why none of those cunts could ever do it. They never have in their lives. Fucking the useless piece of dog shit brothers of mine have wives that pay the bills. Literally, I'm not kidding you. And I've often wondered about that, like especially my most useless fucking brother, right? And I don't care what happens to him, but I wonder if he even wonders because if he outlives his wife, boy, is he fucked because he can't support himself, couldn't get a job, couldn't do anything. All he can do is, sit there and complain. And so, yeah, if his wife happens to pass before him, oh, he's fucked because I don't see any way that he could ever, right? Fucking, that's the thing, right? Everything's costs money. You got to work your ass off for it. We're all slaves. And so right now, I'm enduring it because of respect for my mother and stuff. Like shit, I could bounce too. I could have bounced and went back down to where I used to live and made a shitload of money this summer. And oh fuck, don't know how many times I almost did. But I knew if I left this place unguarded, then you know what's gonna happen to it. My mom used to be able to do it all the time, right? And hey man, she had the full might of uh of her 35 or 40 years of fucking on her knees prayer, right? And you know how the universe doesn't let anything bad happen to those type. And I'm not, whew, God, nowhere near as good as she was. But I'm better than most. But I mean, no way, right? And so, with all this hatred and whatnot coming at me, it's hard for me to be positive all the time. So that's why I'm having a struggle too, right? I got to continue to manifest positive uh, vibes. It's so fucking hard to do. It is. It is difficult. Um, and I got to admit that one of the few things that has brought me a little bit of, you know, respite from all this shit is the fucking pool table ping pong thing I bought, right? Because now I can at least when I want to just fucking forget about it, I can go in there and shoot some pool and practice my pool game. You play by myself. Um, can't play ping pong by myself, but I've set up these. I bought a bunch of balls and I set up and I can practice uh, doing different types of spins and serves and shit like that. So it's still kind of fun. Uh, it actually is fun because I'm learning. And I got this new paddle now, and that fucker, I'm telling you what, I can when I hit that fucker right, just right, it shoots right off the fucking table. Right? And so it's badass. It's badass. But that's the one few things. And then of course I still have my creek, which I don't spend enough time at. And I still have my yard, which is awesome. I go out there all the time. When I can't take it anymore, I just take my shoes off and step out into the yard and walk around barefoot. And the berries, I'm there. I was just checking them out right before this. Berries are looking good now. I'm gonna go out and pick some of them. So I'm gonna have fresh berries. And yeah, I'm making the best of it. Um, sad part is I don't have a lot of friends up here. I only know a few people because I never, I was always a back and forth person. Always expected to continue to do my summers elsewhere and then come up here and take care of this place in the winter. Take care of I don't feel safe. I didn't never felt safe with her alone in the winter for years now because like a couple years ago when we had the gigantic storm with the 8 days of power outage. Uh, no, um, my dear mother would have been forced to abandon this house and go stay at a shelter or something, right? And I know goddamn well she wouldn't have liked that. And then this place would have frozen solid, and the damage to it would have been quite more extensive than it was. The average bill for most of the homes was over $10,000, and so some of them quite higher. But I was able to keep this place warm enough to where we only had a few less than $2,000 with damage. So, and even the guys who came and repaired it said, "Wow, they were like, damn, you guys did. How'd you keep this place warm, right?" And I was like, "Oh, fucking literally had to work my ass off 20 hours a day. And I'd pass out from exhaustion at about 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning because that's the coldest time. And finally get a few hours of sleep and then get back up at it, right? 8 days in a row. And then we finally got power back. And so we had a little bit of electric heat and stuff like that then. And it wasn't that bad. But we still didn't have the heater, the baseboard heaters and stuff like that. We didn't get that for almost a month later. And so by the time we finished that, I mean, I was straight played out. I was exhausted. I slept for days after that. And so, yeah, that would have really decimated this place quite a bit. So, and I did it because I was protecting my mother, right? It wasn't because I was protecting this physical house. No, it's because I didn't want my mom to freeze. Right? And so, yeah, and she got through it. I mean, she never would have without me. I mean, she would have survived, but probably if she would have abandoned the place, but that would have been it, right? And as it was, we did really good, and mom was very happy and very proud of what we did. See how oh, fuck dude. Okay, right. My family picked over my dad's will. Even the church took 40 grand. My dad's like, yeah. See, that's the whole thing about this will shit, right? Because that's what they can do. They come right in and fuck you, talk shit or do whatever, right? Literally um, come up with some fraudulent thing and fuck you out of all your money. And that's why I don't do it. So I keep saying, get a trust, and that won't happen. You- the church, yeah, the fucking church, man, they're the worst. All right, these scum. fucking begging for everybody's money. You must pay 10%, right? Yeah, my mom fished in on that too. Fraud. Um, So-called girlfriend who knew him a week walked away with 30. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how it works. That's how it works. That's how it works with this bullshit with will thing. I mean, did he have a will? See, right now we were going forward without one, which they call intestate, which means everything's divided equally. And oh, you know for a fact that I wouldn't be getting no equal share. This is what happened to me last time, right? My other sister, who's dead now because she created her own hell. She maneuvered her way out of she barely got anything from anybody else, but she sure as fucked me, right? And she did. She maneuvered almost my entire inheritance from my father away from me. That fucking dried up cunt. But hey, she got what she deserved. Not by anything I did. Dude, universe takes care of shit like that, right? And that's the sad part about these other fucking chimps. They don't understand that. And you could tell them that, and even my one who acts like she's a Christian, right? Say, hey man, God's watching. Oh, she'll X that right out of her mind, right? She don't care because she's just fake as her tits. The other six family members walked away with over 120,000, leaving me and my sister with the rest, which was peanuts from what we were supposed to receive. Yeah, you'll get fucked. And that's what they're trying to do to me. And that's what they would do to me had I not been able to find the holographic will that I found, which was a blessing. And I'm still looking. Still might be one place where there might be some filed. And I got my fingers crossed on that because I know that they're all saying, well, she was going to update the will. And they're trying to say they'll update the will to where nothing to him and everything to us, right? No, it was going to be the other way around. And they know it. And this is why they don't want to find it. But they act like they do, right? And my sister actually put something like I would destroy it. If I found it, will I destroy it, right? Projection. Projection. She may have already done that. But whatever. Um, Rev says the state has a lien on my mom's house. They took everything else. Yeah. Yeah. If I wasn't here paying for all the shit, they would start doing that too. To here. And so this is what another thing they don't understand either, right? It's fucking retards. Uh yeah. If I wasn't here paying for everything, there'd be a lien on it and we'd all be getting fucked. And hey, we might still. Because if I can't keep this place going, then yeah, that's what'll happen. And so and you goddamn know for a flying fact that not one of them fuckers is gonna lift a fucking single hand to do anything to help me, much less help me pay any bills or anything like that. Fuck no. Well, most like a couple of them are totally indigent anyway. They couldn't pay anything if they fucking wanted to, which they definitely wouldn't. And even if they're forced to, you can't get blood out of a rock, right? No way. Dude, they're literally useless piles of dog shit sponging off this system. My one brother, he makes a little bit of money, but there's no the fuck way in hell he would ever give up anything either. I mean, the only one that ever asked me if I needed any help was my cousin, who, I have cousins where we're close family. We actually care about each other, right? And so that's the only how I've ever known that there's any such thing as family love, because I've never felt any of it ever from any of my siblings ever, and I've got nothing but disrespect, and they fucking look what they're doing to me now, right? So killed her with the baloney, and they jabbed her. Oh, yep. See, they tried to do the same thing to my mom too when she last time she went to the Nazi sorcery. Steve Crumbling, welcome. Yeah, she got a couple hives on her arm, and she said she was going to go in. I said, "Don't do that." So they're just going to start injecting you with all kinds of shit. And I said, "Here," I boiled up some spruce needle things. And I said, "Get in the bathtub. You can go in there, and it'll solve that." Right? There's only a few stupid little bumps on her arm, right? But she was all. I could see that. My mom used to get this stupid little half smile on her face, right, when she knew that she shouldn't be doing something, right? And I seen that very look on her face. But the ingrained training of the system, go see the Nazi sorcerer, right? Ooh. And so she did. And they fucking, oh my God, they almost didn't let her go. She almost didn't make it. Right? They started jabbing her with all that fucking Benadryl bullshit, EpiPens, all that. Fucking collapsed. Fucking put her on a stretcher, towed her away. She was gone for almost 2 weeks. Right? And I couldn't do anything about it. And I was stuck here. And yeah, barely survived it myself. Middle of the winter and shit. And man, by the time she barely drug ass back home, 12 days later, something like that, they still couldn't tell her what caused the hives, right? That's so fucking right. It's so obvious. These guys are retards, right? No, but no, they're the fucking authority. Don't say anything against. We'll sue and jail and. But they don't know shit. And I don't see how people don't get it. And but that was the last straw with her. Fortunately, I said there's no fucking way in hell she go and do that. She says, "Fuck off. Even if I'm dying, I'm not going back to them fuckers because they'll finish the job, right?" And thank God she finally got it at the end. But yeah, they tried to do everything they could to, dude, even send her home with a giant bag of fucking those things you're supposed to jab into your fucking leg. If you get any more hives, jab that thing in your leg, right? I fucking immediately took that shit and threw it in the garbage. Joe Crow, what's up? Welcome. I was just watching a sled go 67 or 700 miles per hour. What? Think about now. Oh yeah, now yeah, there goes 17K, right? And that's yeah, because once you speed up that speed and you level out, right? There's no force. Yeah, it's so funny, right? 17,000 miles per hour. I know. Sorry about the will. My best friend had the will thing. It almost killed him. Make sure to drink beer. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. But yeah, the thing that they fail to understand too is that they keep calling it notes to have a will made, but holographic will is perfectly legal and it literally is a will. Even though they say, no, no, it's not, it's not. They can't, it's not it out of that. No, it constitutes will. And this is why the court took it very seriously and took it in. Right? If it wasn't something serious, they wouldn't even accepted it. But they saw it and they looked at it and they went, I saw it. Their modes changed immediately, right? They went, okay, here we go. We got it, right? This is it. And so they did it correctly. I did it correctly. Um, yeah. And the sad part about it for them, and the good part for me, is that their opinions can't change it, even if they see that their attorney obviously told them to attack my character so they could try to put doubt on it, but their attacks are, you know, baseless. They have nothing to back them up, and I can dance upon them all day long, discount them just by common sense. And I'm sure the attorney or the judge, when he looks at it, he's just going to go, he's going to chuckle, right? Because I know he's seen all this before. It's not like that. This is the first time none of this shit has ever happened. I'm sure there's been way worse. Steve Cummins says the kids I grew up with directly across the street with dad just passed away. Got the funeral tomorrow. Bear was their dad that passed. Say a prayer for Scott and Patrick Key if you guys get a chance. Absolutely. Father, we come before you with all love, honor, and respect. And we just ask that you send angels of comfort to everyone who needs it, who are losing loved ones. And especially that right away, right time. Took me a year to stop crying every day. Right. And now I'm finally have some semblance of reality, but can go I choke up at any time. And so I know what it's like. And so we just ask angels of comfort and prosperity to go to everyone, including Barry, Scott, Patrick, and anybody else there, especially those hearing my voice. And then we'll extend that to everybody on your dear earth that needs this help. And we thank you in Jesus' name. And it's done because we did it in faith and together. Believe it, it happens. So for sure. And I feel better. I always feel better every time I pray. I mean, praying by yourself doesn't have the same um, effect that when two or more are gathered in the same mindset. Much more powerful, multiplying factor. Joko, I feel you on not knowing family love. Yeah. Never known it. you know, they make movies and shit like that where they show people, the families, they all care about each other and help each other and shit like that. Yeah, yeah. I see those movies and they're like, yeah, fucking movies. They're never true. But then uh, I ran into a few families. I got a friend, right? One of my good friends. I mean, their family very close, and they constantly help each other, constantly, you know, there for them. Will do anything to help their family, right? And it's just wow, wow, right? Getting choked up again. But yeah, it's I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm jealous or anything like that. I see it as like, wow, that it does really exist. And so it kind of gives me faith too, right? That yes, everybody out there isn't suffering from, you know, sibling rivalry as they call it, but now it's more like sibling hatred. And so um yeah. And really hit home for me last winter when I slipped and broke my ribs, right? And was literally down. And it was so bad that I could barely fucking go to the bathroom or get something to eat or anything, right? Literally debilitated. And that's the only time that I really hate too is because I'm such an active, healthy person that anytime I get an injury, I feel like a goddamn cripple, right? And it's really hard on my mindset too, right? Because I'm used to being able to do anything I want, you know, lift whatever, fucking climb whatever, all that, right? And I couldn't do anything. And yeah, that was tough. Um, I reached out immediately to my sister, and she's, "Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we're in Timbuktu land here, you know, because they go on a billion vacations a year. We won't be back for 12 days, you know." And I'm like, "Oh, great, no help there, right?" Oh, but we love you, right? While they're plotting behind me, they always say that, "Love you," right? Words can never go by their words, go by their actions. Shows everything. But they made sure and send me, you know, pictures of them having a good time while I was trying to survive here, literally. Um, but I mean, it was bad. I was literally laying there and my ribs were all caved in the back right there, right? So it was hard to breathe. And I even had this, I've never had those kind of thoughts ever before. I had this thought cross my mind. It's like, fuck, man, if I do fall asleep, what if I fucking don't wake up, right? And so it was like, I mean, I'm laughing about it now, but yeah, there was kind of a moment there where I thought, fuck, you know, it could happen. And if it did happen, right, nobody would have known for, you know, a long time, at least a matter of weeks, if not months, before anybody would come. Because nobody comes here ever. Okay, that's one thing I can count on is that no one will ever come here because they don't. Yeah, and so I said that thing. Well, fuck, whatever. I won't care if I do pass away. I'm fucking get to go to my take, gather my ultimate power and turn into an immortal being. Fuck, I won't give a fuck. But you know, the thought did cross my mind, and I was like, God, if I only, I immediately, I went, God, I'm never gonna get that lucky. I knew it. I knew there's no way I could get that lucky. Steve Comey, thank you, Reg. I feel something when we pray on these that never felt when it's just me trying to learn to pray. Yeah, bro. It's like I said, there's when uh, two people, two or more, are gathered together with the same intent. It has a multiplying factor that just right straight through the roof. I mean, you can still have an effective prayer for your own molecules. I've talked about this before, right? You can affect your own molecules, but the ones out there are much more difficult to affect. And so once you get a group of people, like get a good group of people going, man, that shit works. They literally did a study on this, right? It only takes one person per 10,000 or something like that. They literally did this. They did it in war torn countries. They would put a person who's trained in prayer to just sit there and pray 24/7, and they put them in strategic locations around, and they would immediately see the fighting decrease. And so it is a proven science, right? It's all spirituality, but they literally found out that yes, it does work, and it's like one person per 10,000 is all it really takes. And so this is why I try not to lose faith. I try to keep praying all the time too, right? I don't do as much because I realize, I mean, there's one thing I realized too, like, okay, I read this book about a guy who this super uh awesome priest or something like that. I think he wasn't Catholic, right? He was one of those real men of God, right? And that he said that this guy would just spend most of his day on his knees in prayer, right? And God bless him for that. But I mean, you think he would have figured it out before too many years passed that that's not as effective as it could be, right? Because it isn't, And I use this thing, right? There's a lot of people around the world who have been praying since day one that things get better in our society. But have you seen anything get any better? Hmm? Yeah, it just continues to circle down the drain. So you got to look at that fact too. That there have been people praying, and they're still praying right now at this moment. But mm, the effect it's having is negligible, right? It can be argued that it's not having much of an effect. But I'm guessing that if they didn't pray, that this society would be way down the shitter compared to where it is, right? And so, anyone see that Oliver Anthony interview where he takes his mask off? I did not. I don't even know who it is, but Shadow, what's up? Families sound like they have sadism. They're they have bigger problems than that, right? I don't know what their freak show is. I've tried to figure it out multiple times through my life, right? Because I've done I've always tried to help them too, right? I mean, my one brother literally was going to lose his trailer, right? He lives in the same trailer he's living in to this day. He was going to lose that to a repo because he couldn't make payment. And so I was like, I just got through fishing. I had a pocket full of money, and I got offered a job at a mill in Ketchikan. And I was like, hey, all right, tell you what, I can. How much is it? And it was only like $2,500 or something like that, right? And I said, I could pay that, but um, I'll do it. But I got a job down there. I got to stay there, right? If I pay for it, you can let me stay there. Oh, right? All that shit, all those lies, right? And I said, well, let's get this in writing, right? I said, no, we need something in writing. Let's write it up. And he just refused to do it, right? He kept saying, oh, bro, man, we're brothers, right? And my mistake. I never should have done it, but I did and never got the writing up. And he just immediately went back on everything, turned into a complete prick, fucking ends up kicking me out in the middle of the winter for a place I paid for. That's how cool he is. And I just wanted to get away from his fucking piece of dog shit ass anyway by then. Uh, luckily, he was living with his old ex wife then, right? And not even there. Otherwise, I would have fucking choked him, right? But as it was, I just had to walk away from all that. And, he wouldn't even have a house if it wasn't for me. And here he is, the irony, trying to kick me out of my house, right? But that's how it works for these fucks, right? That's how they fucking work. Stephen Cumley, been paying for our brother Jack too. Hope his disconnect time from the online insanity helps him reconnect and helps him any way he needs to. Yep, for sure. I texted him. I told him, hey man, call me if you need to. He said he will. He would, he's dude. I everybody's seen me fucking do the same thing, right? He gets to be all too much and just say, hey, fuck this. I got to walk away from this, right? And so he's just doing that. He's a smart man. He's doing exactly what he needs, right? And so I'm 100% behind that. And so, and yeah, we're definitely behind it. And the prayer we just said goes for everybody. So I hope Jack felt a little bit since last stream. He looked a little sick. Yeah, me too. Me too. I mean, the man works, dude. We all know it. There's one thing he's consistent at, and that's working. That gentleman is a worker. And so, and he's in good shape. And you know that. I mean, I know that for a fact. You do that kind of work, man. That's the kind of guy that you don't want to get into any kind of fucking confrontation with, right? You'll be fighting for your fucking life. Because his vice grip fucking hands will fuck your ass up. And so, but as good a shape as he's in, as I like to keep myself in it too as well, right? The radiation poison still gets you, right? The toxins still get you. We're being fucking constantly bombarded by them, right? Constantly assaulted. The constant toxic assault, as I call it. Talk about this all the time. It's basically my theme, right? We're all into the same toxic assault. If you aren't constantly defending like fucking Bruce Lee, right? Literally, then you are suffering. And most people just blow that off. They can't believe it. They don't want to believe it because then they'll have to do something about it, right? So this is why most people, they put up their defense. Nope, nope, not happening, right? And that's how they do it. And so they all turn all decrepit, and pretty soon they're laying in a bed by the end of their life with the diaper on, pissing themselves. And oh, this is how it goes, right? They don't realize there's another fucking way. And that's why I'm so grateful about my mother too, right? Is that she didn't die like my auntie Irene did, right? Laying in bed, pissing herself, shitting herself. No, my mother's strong and healthy right up to the end, and that's how it works. If you're in good health, right, you're able to function right up to till the day God calls you, right? And I remember when she was talking about it too. She's already had like a heart attack and stuff like that already, right? And so she had already like literally in her own writings. I've been reading her notes, and she pretty much died twice, right? They revived her, and so that's why she didn't want to be revived anymore, right? She says, if I get a chance to go to heaven, right, I'm going. She said, and I even though I want her to, right? I just what could I say, right? I just smile and hey, fucking hey, if I got a chance to go too, right? And sure as shit, exact same thing I'd say, right? Get the fuck out of here. And so, but unfortunately, we have to wait until our time is called. Because if, I've spoken about this multiple times, those guys who commit suicide, they lose all of their power. You do not have any, you're a mortal being. No, you don't get that. You you go back into the mash, right? It's like a little ant until they shove you back into a new body. And okay, try to learn the lessons this time. See if you can get it. And our society literally teaches the opposite of the lessons you need to learn. So that's most everybody. There's very few, like my mother, living saint, learn those lessons. She got to become an immortal being, took all of her essence with her. I'm so proud of her. One more attack look, and I wonder if the alcohol is catching up with him like it did me. Um, no, no, I know. I know you don't like it when I tell you these kind of things, but 100% opposite on that. Um, no, we've much as I try to disagree with me, man. No, you've we're more you, bro. I've been preaching to you forever, and not gonna say anything, but trust me, both Jack and I are in a far different level of health than virtually anybody else on the earth. Not picking on you, you're just in the same boat, and it's like the last time you said you had a little accident while mixing alcohol and pharmaceuticals. A dead giveaway right there. Take those toxins, but something that I'll never take. Never do. I don't even take fucking over the counter aspirin, right? Don't let any of those toxins in your body, bro. Nanotech in it. So, ba-dum-dum. And I know you don't like hearing that, but you fucking A well should hear it because you need to stop doing that if you want to. Anyway, I'm wasting my breath. I've noticed the same edge, all this praying and nothing happening really gets to the noggin jogging, right? Yeah. So, no, Loken, I'm going to say that, more has his own set of problems. We all do. We all have our own set of problems. Right? Can't try to act like, oh, well, this happened to me, so you too, right? No, not how it works. And we all know that. Some people are just lucky and get cancer, right? Oh, it's hereditary. Lies. You all know that. You all know that. Everything's a fucking lie. No. Control your own mind. That's why I don't age. I have kind of aged in the last year because I've been so distraught. And sure, you can see it on my face. But it's mostly just stress. And I'm going back to my I just got that skin brush thing too, right? The new one. And so going back onto all that, it's just been like I said, man, I'm going through it, man. You guys don't know what the fucking it's like. Right? You see this? Lucky to be even seeing this. Right? You think I want to fucking come on? Yeah, I had to so I could talk to somebody because I don't have anybody to talk to. Zero. Nobody. None. So, Joko, do you have any creepy stories on being out fishing late night? Creepy anything? Um, yeah. I told lots of good stories. Actually the creepy storyteller. And so, yeah, Jack is a good worker. Yeah, it's all about the mindset, bro. So I know that for a fact, right? Because that's how I've dealt with it all my life, right? When people get sick around me, I won't get sick because I just won't allow it to happen. And but not saying that I've never gotten sick because sometimes they'll hit you with a dose of radiation, and that will fuck you up. And the worst thing that had happen was the stupid fucking rib breaking, right? Which I mean, dude, trust me, you know how much I kicked myself in the ass about that for the stupid little fucking accident it was. Yeah, I kicked myself in the ass. It fucked me, set me back. I had fucking money saved up. I had everything, right? And so I'm still kind of kicking myself on the ass because that really fucking really set me back. So, Joe Crow, it's been raining here in New Hampshire almost every day this summer. Last summer, no rain. Everything dried up, man made. Oh, yeah. And we talk about those all the time. Once they control the weather in one area of the world, affects everywhere else. Right? There's a cycle. So, here, we're finally getting a little bit of sunshine in the last bit of summer, but the average temperature has been really low, which means it's going to be a cold ass winter again. And so I'm looking forward to freeze my ass off here, struggling through the winter all alone once again. Yep. Zang. So grateful for that. Of course, I'm being sarcastic, but I'm in it now. I'm stuck in it. If I walk away, they will uh, be able to, you know, it'll make it look like they're lies that they're telling me that we have some type of credence to them, right? And they don't. And so I literally have to defend my life now, right? Because all the shit they're talking about, I mean, if it were true, right, it paints quite a bad picture for me. If it was true, yeah, okay. If it was true, I'm a fucking prick, asshole, sons of bitch, right? And so, yeah, who would want to hire that? Uh, fuck, who would want to, who would want to give somebody a job like that, right? Because this is a small town up here. I mean, they say, oh, it was all confidential. Fuck, trust that. Trust me, everybody's gonna know. And so, their attack on my character is literally affecting my life and my ability to get another job and continue to sustain this place, right? And if I can't do that, then there's going to be liens and everything else, right? They don't know how fucked they're going to be. That's how retarded they are. Yeah, they should be actually helping me and being thankful that I'm literally here keeping any of that from happening. But no, I'm the fucking. They've made up all these lies about how I'm the only thing that stands in their way of them getting a little bit of money. And so you know how that is. That greed sets in. They'll literally they're denying their own mother. They're lying to their own mother right now, just like Joe Rogan, right? Said he lied to his mother for money. There you go. That's what they're doing right now. And so, you know what happens to those type? Right? I mean, those ones that fully sell out and suck Satan's cock, right? They get to live fairly decent life for a while until the end comes and they die in fucking abject fear, freaking out, right? Freaking out. That's never gonna happen to me, right? Because, uh, dude, I keep telling the other side, tremble, right? Tremble, because when I come out of this fucking coil, there's no doubts in me. Right? I know exactly what I can do because I've done it already on the astral plane. I've already done it. Already showed my control of that, and this is why they don't allow me to dream much anymore. And it's really weird. Grab a few comments here. Oh fuck, maybe we'll go on to my Instagram page and see what I got saved up there. But fuck, it's already been an hour. Jesus Christ. Ranted an hour already. Time flies when you're having fun. It's the only fucking talk I've been able to have besides talking to myself here, right? Going through my script. Because I have to sit there and literally, I mean, as an actor, I rehearse all the time anyway. think probably, I remember your ribs hurting so bad we were trying to make you not, yeah, make you laugh in the chat because you hurt when you laughed. I know, right? I remember that too, right? I'm sitting there fucking holding my ribs. Don't make that, dude. Sneezing was the worst, right? Coughing wasn't bad, but a fucking sneeze, bro. Oh, fuck me dead, right? I literally, if I felt one coming, I literally fucking grab both sides of my rib cage and it just get ready for the pain, right? And you sneeze that fucker and cartouche, right? Yeah, it was a shower slip. It was in my downstairs shower, which doesn't have any non-skid on it, and it plus has this stupid fucking shower curtain thing up there. I wonder what that thing was, right? It's a big shower curtain that goes way out, right? Oh, give you more room. No, it fucks you into thinking you have more room that way, and you hit the fucking corner and slip. That's what fucking happened. I figured it out. It wasn't just from being, well, actually, right? I was tired, groggy, just got out of bath, lightheaded, and I did have a few beverages, right? So I was just all those things tied together. Fucking that curtain being out there, I just fucking took one cunt hair of a little bit of a bad step, and fuck, dude, I'm not kidding, man. That shit happened fast. I mean, it was just one. At 1 second, I was just standing there, and next second, fucking crunch. I'm hearing my fucking ribs, literally, and I heard it and felt it. And I like, there was no mistake whatsoever. I was like, that's my fucking ribs, right? And so I was like, and I just fucking water falling down on me and shit, man. I just turned to my side and got myself up and out of there before the shock. The shock sets in. It wouldn't hurt that much. I mean, at first it was in shock, so I was able to move. But after the shock went away, man, dude, yeah, I was fucked then. But luckily, I'd gotten out of the shower and I washed out. I knew I actually forced myself to stay in there and wash because I just got in there, wash my body because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get in there for a while. Right? Just wasn't going to happen. And so, yeah, it was. Like I said, usually when I get injured, it's something like I'm fucking snowboarding with a hang glider. It's kind of character I am. And normally I don't get hurt. That's why it was so surprising that this stupid little fucking thing did it to me. And literally my own fault for just being. I mean, I never even should have came down to the shower. I don't even know I did. I mean, I look back at that too, and I remember thinking because the bathtub was full of water, I was like, oh, the main thing I thought was I could go down and at least stand under the shower head there, right, and have to bend down and duck down under it and shit like that. So I thought, all right, fuck, I'll just walk down there. I went down and fucking step in there, swoop, boom, dead, right? So retarded. Joe Crow, I broke my ribs from a bad chest cold, coughing in my sleep. God, that hurt. I couldn't sleep. No joke. Yeah. I didn't sleep for days. I couldn't eat, couldn't nothing. Right. I had to take shit once. That was horrifying. So that's why I didn't care if I couldn't eat, right? Because I didn't want to have to do that. It's fucking hard to even sit on that fucking toilet. Couldn't do it, right? They had to fucking, I had to be propped up on every goddamn thing, right? And it was so difficult. And just the way I had to sit on that fucking toilet, couldn't even fucking barely wipe my own fucking ass, right? So fucked up it was. Look, Garville. Anthony Oliver is the guy who did the rich. Oh, that guy, right? Okay, Mr. Fucking. Oh, he's got a multiple million views on that fucker already. Yeah, he's the fucking man of the hour. Already. In the interview, he dropped the Southern accent and talked about America as a melting pot and that we should embrace diversity. Hey, that's not surprising. I mean, what did I say a long time ago? They don't allow anybody to make it to that level without the fucking certainly fucking gargling Satan semen, right? And so, yeah, he's another actor in this fraud that we call our society. So, you see any surprise coming out of me? So I thought that name looked familiar, but I don't pay attention. I'm not paying attention to that shit anymore. I'm not kidding. I'm nope. That's it. Right. I have little to. I'll go on to info drawers maybe once a week, only to check and see if Greg Reese has done a couple of reports, and that's it. Right. I won't look at anything else because those guys are just as bad. They're just as fucking bad. They're all talking about Trump again and get ready for the election. We're all going to jerk each other off and arrest them and put them in jail, right? Same fraud, same fuck fraud. That's always going to be, and it never will change. Till literally it gets burned to the ground. Right? Sanders report has video. Okay, right on. Yeah, it's cool. Like I said, I'm not looking at anything anymore. I'm just not. It's just I already know what's happening. We all do. We've talked about this for years. I mean, if you've listened to me and Jack for a couple years now, you know what's going to happen. You already know what's going to happen. We already know what's going to happen before it's going to happen. And so here they are getting started on that trail. You see, they're going to bring back the baloney virus again, right? And this is what they said on Info Drawers, because I just happened to, I was looking for a Greg Grease report, right? And so it comes on and you hear it while I'm just sitting there and hear them talking. And they're like, they're exposing that, yeah, they're bringing back all those mandates and blah, blah, blah. And so they're going to pull the trigger on it. Stephen Crumb is saying, oh, yeah, so singing accent is much different than my accent when I'm talking, but he's put it on, and in all honesty, he's good at faking it. Yeah. Yeah. They usually, sometimes they get some good actors, right? He's a couple yards away from, but in Appalachia. Stephen Crumley, we need a Greg Reese report, Reg. It's been a while. Yeah. I used to play him too, but gotta be careful because those, they'll strike it down because of that. And I'm already on one. And so I'm not doing much of that shit, right? And if I see something on my Instagram page that I know they'll, oh, you're spreading misinformation, right? What's the point, right? What's the point in doing that if they're just gonna fucking stop us from communicating, right? We already know what's going on. We have fucking, we're so far ahead of the fucking game, guys, that we don't need to talk about it. And so, yeah, we all know what's coming. I mean, as we said a long time ago, there's no way if they do get to the fake election that the day after they say, "Oh, see, we won again. Sorry, good try." Day after that, there's going to be aliens are going to show up or a meteor or whatever, right? We know it's coming. It's going to be another gigantic fucking fraud, but this shit will work on the fucking tards. You know it will, especially the fucking meteor one, man, dude. You see all the movies they make of that where everybody's fucking just running for the hills and shit. Oh fuck! It is all staged, Joe. You're right. Let's think of auto hoaxer. Auto Tim Coney. Oh shit! I forgot about yeah, strike for copyright content. Yeah. And so yeah, it's still. I noticed that I can still review the content on that last one that got pulled. It's still there, and I was sitting there thinking I can't download it, but I can play it, and if I play it, I can record it. And so I tried a test of it just yesterday, and yeah, I grabbed the whole 3 hour fucking thing or whatever it is, but I grabbed a chunk of it and it worked. And so I was like, so I might be able to grab the rest of it if it's still up. I might do that. And I've downloaded a couple of the other ones that were the better ones, right? The one where I did it, my Jack stream is definitely in the vault. And I privatized that one on YouTube too, so that it won't be being scrutinized, right? So I remember somebody said in the chat, they said, "Oh, you think that they'll use your YouTube channel against you?" And I said, "Maybe, but I don't care, right?" And so, Joe Crow, but we're all not going to, yeah, right. That's what they're saying. Oh, that's glad you brought that back up. That's what they're saying on Info Drawers, is that it's our duty to not go with the mandates and we must stand together and fight, right? And that right there is just going to give an excuse to martial law or whatever fuck, right? Think anything's going to help? Seriously? The only thing that's going to help is what Alex Jones keeps saying over and over again. He says the answer to 1984 is 1776. But we're not calling for violence, right? It's like, you idiot, you just said it. What do you think happened in 1776 if you're supposed to believe the official story, right? They did violence. And so, and as like I said, man, the government's now a bully. It's a bully. And the only thing a bully understands is violence. And so you got to fucking knock the bully out, or you're just going to keep getting bullied forever because you can't negotiate your way out with the bully. No. You got to fucking drop that fucker. And sometimes it's got to be permanently. Because some of them never learn, like my fucking one retard brother. That fucker never learned. Just keeps coming back. Still thinks he's gets all mad. Comes to attack me, and fuck it. He's so stupid now that all I have to do is slip out of the way and trip him. Right? Hits his face again. His big, ugly, beat up fucking face from little guys beating him up when he's so drunk because he can't fight. Still thinks he can though. For some reason, I don't know. It's all that fucking metal in his brain, right? Can't fathom the truth. So he still comes and tries to attack. I mean, look, yeah, a retard could learn better, right? Shadow, you want to come on board? Let me throw out the invite. I'm done ranting. So grab the link if you want to come on board. Shadow says Bill Gates during the medicine panic was on Colbert, right? That fucking piece of shit too, man. Dude, he used to be funny way back in the day when he was on Comedy Central. He wasn't bad. He was actually a pretty funny guy, but he is a fucking retarded fucking little demon puppet now, right? I sit there. I mean, I won't even look at his ugly face, right? But when his ugly face does pop up in other shit, I sit there and look at how fucking fake he is, and just wonder how he could have even been. I mean, it's like two different people, right? Because way back when he was on just on Comedy Central, he was a pretty funny motherfucker. He made fun of all kinds of shit, right? No, now it's fucking sucking Satan cock fucking 24/7. He's just got jizz just literally covered with like a porn star, right? A porn queen. And it's just fucking disgusting. Colbert said there would be another. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Of course, Shadow. We've talked about this forever. I mean, Gil Bates. Fuck, they famously said it all the time, and there was in there. Well, if this didn't get their attention, the next one will. Right? So they fucking literally got a plan. So it's trouble when you let fucking usury through fucking fake tribe money, you know, whoish money, rule the world. Yeah. And as I said before, the only chance humanity has is if the guard dogs turn on their masters, right? These fucking strongmen scum that are taking money from these fucking Jews, right? I said it, but you know what I mean. These are the fucks that are the betrayers of society. Because if they weren't protecting these scum, humanity could get at them. Now, couldn't they? And you know what would happen then? Welcome, Biden Care. How you doing? I love it. Straight from Futurama. Suicide booth, 25 cents. I know, right? Anybody get a quarter? You got a quarter, man? I got to have a quarter around here somewhere. Fucking put me in it. No, can't do that. You'll lose all your power. So. How you doing, brother? What's up?
Good. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. We got you.
Good. Did you hear about the nurse in the UK who was found guilty for killing like 8 or 7 babies?
No, but it doesn't surprise me because we hear that kind of shit all the time. So it's another one, huh? Yeah. So
Unless she was a patsy.
so what? I'm gonna put my headphones on because I want to hear everything.
I was saying she could always be a patsy. We never know.
Oh, fuck that, man. They're all Satanists. All those fucking Nazi sorcerers are all 100% Satanists. You know that. They don't fucking believe in no God or anything. They have no faith. They're scientists, right? Which is a cult, the cult of Satan. Right? It is.
You know what's funny? Isn't a doctor supposed to like heal you, but a scientist does experiments?
Dude, all medical experimental.
Yeah.
I mean, I learned that a long time ago. You're a lab rat.
It's not about healing, it's about experimentation.
Yeah, and it's about all they try to do is mask your symptoms so you'll feel a little bit better, and they take your money and you'll be right back because they didn't solve the problem. They just made you feel a little bit better, right? And so there you go.
Placebo effect.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. 100%. You're way better off with the placebo effect than you are putting these dangerous substances in your body.
Yeah.
And that's 100%. I mean, a retard could figure that out. I mean, all I've ever said, if you want to figure it out, look at statistics. All right. All you got to do, right? If you just look at statistics alone, back when I was a kid, cancer was very rare. It was. Wasn't that fucking good? Hardly anybody had it, right? Now babies are born with it. and they're still begging for money. That fucking St. Jude Hospital, saving lives, saving through research, right? Fuck you, man. You've been researching for fucking my entire lifetime, and no cure, no nothing yet, dude.
Yeah.
Gigantic $100 billion a year industry. Yeah, you're gonna shut that out. You want to cure that. You want to get rid of your $100 billion a year. I get it. Fuck, man, come on. Remember that movie? It was called Medicine Man. Remember that? Before your time, but you like to watch movies. I think you might have seen it. It's like Nick Nolte or some fucking thing like that. One of those dudes. Supposedly this guy some super scientist who, fucking went to the jungle and found a cure for cancer, right? Like that's never happened before, right? No, fucking multiple people have done it multiple times through history. Just do a hair research to find that out, right?
If the movie was accurate, he'd be dead in 5 minutes, and then
yeah. He'd be dead and fucking thrown in jail, and fucking his whole family threatened, and yeah, that's how
short movie, 5 minutes.
Well, see, that's what they do to hypnotize the whole world. Oh yeah, dude, don't worry, somebody's gonna get a cure one day, but keep believing that you're gonna get it.
It's like Santa Claus.
Yeah,
Santa Claus is coming.
Confidence game, man. And so it's just like, remember we were talking about when they made that new reboot of Fantasy Island, recently, years ago, right? Yeah, back when I still would occasionally watch TV, right? But I liked Fantasy Island when I was a kid, right? I watched it every week. I love fuck Fantasy Island, right? That was a killer show, and so I watched that reboot just because of that. They had this.
I only know the midget guy. Z-plane.
Right. That's the fucking main thing. That was the hook, right? And they didn't have that, but they turned Mr. Rourke into some chick, right? And but one of the fantasy people, right? How there's always different guest stars every week that came to have their fantasy, right? Well, one of them was like they like had cancer, right? And always, I got cancer anyway, so I'm a goner, so I'm gonna blow my billions or whatever, right? You know how it always is, right? And that's exactly how there's exact wording that the fucking dude or cunt or whatever it was that said. They're like, well, it's because I got cancer. Yep, I'm a goner, right? Because I got like anybody who would say it, would say it that way. Oh, yep, got cancer, so I'm a goner, right? You just go, dude, come on. It's so stupid.
In other words, give up.
Yeah, right. Oh well.
Himself.
Sorry, that's what those fuckers do. They're just hoping you'll believe it, right? If you feel bad from anything, if you just have a little indigestion and they see, oh well, shit, he's got like I say this about my former boss, right? They check your bank account. Oh fuck, he's got millions. Oh, they come in with their concerned look. Well, tests come back, cancer.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said it hurt by your esophagus, because they had heartburn, right? And so, well, you're gonna have to remove your esophagus. Don't worry, we'll get you down to the Mayo Clinic. We'll get that cancer cut out, and we'll rebuild your right. See how easy it is to just convince some fucking dumb retard of all this shit, and then do it to them, and they'll have no idea, right, that they didn't have cancer at all. They got them to believe it, right? And that's pretty much. I think that's most of the cases, right? Most of them, because I mean, there's probably rare few that really have some kind of shit like that, right? But no, I think that they convince you to believe it, and once you believe it, the mind controls the body, and it'll make the body will do exactly what the mind wants it to do. If it believes you're dying of cancer, fuck yeah, we're going, right? But if you believe you're healthy and you're gonna live for as long as you want, like this guy, yeah, you're going to stay that way. And so it works. Placebo effect, whatever you want to call it, but it's called mind over matter, right? And so, that's the thing that's been getting me down mostly too, because I'll literally think that sometimes I'll be sitting here going, man, what am I do? I'm fucked, right? I'll say that in my own mind. I'll be, God damn, I got to stop that, right? Because it certainly will fuck me. And it does.
So. To quote Biden, I've been laser focused.
Oh yeah, laser focused. We're gonna use the whole of the government. We've never done that yet, so we're using the whole of the government. So yeah, it's gonna it's gonna fucking get filled with semen very quick because it's a hole. Oh fuck. Okay, let's see what we got here. Joe Crow. Do you know that the Bach saga? It's about North Pole being in Hell, Finland, where is Satan? I mean, Santa from North Pole, Hell, Finland. No, I haven't heard that one yet. He goes on to say the Bach saga film is on YouTube about North Pole always being in sunlight a long time ago. Interesting. No, it's interesting. Bach saga, B-O-C-K. I see. Right.
That
Yeah.
German.
Hmm?
Bach. I thought maybe it was German.
Yeah. Well, Finland or some kind of European. But yeah, Bach. Isn't that a kind of beer? Cheers. All right. Come on. Come up with something.
I've got to go in 15 minutes.
Oh, you fucker! I'm playing. Thanks for joining, though. No shit.
That's okay. You can.
Bro, you don't have anything to say about my haircut or anything? Come on,
I didn't even notice you got one.
God damn it! You're supposed to tell me I look like, I don't know. It was Bieber last time. I don't look that Bieber-y, do I? Where are we at now? Where am I at now?
Maybe if Bieber done a load of smack.
There you go. Now we're talking. There's the shadow I know and love. Yeah. Smack?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Wait, what is smack? Smack's heroin, right?
I don't know.
I think so. Isn't it? I think so. I think that's what they refer to. Smack. Yeah. And so the big H. No, I don't know. Does the big H give you dude? I thought the guy did the right haircut that I wanted, but when I got home, I barely looked at it. I was like, okay, it looks good. And fucking bounced right. I was in a hurry. Another client coming in. I was late getting there and shit like that. So I bounced out. And then when I redid it, I was like, wait. He cut way more off back here than I thought he did, right? And so this is like, looks the exact same. It's been a month or so later. I'm like, what the fuck, man? So I've got a ways to wait before.
It looks good. It reminds me of that movie, Tank Girl.
There you go. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're fucking getting somewhere. See, because that's funny because remember when Sam came up here too, right? And I had all the long hair when I was down there, and I showed him the picture because I was like, I was opening my phone because I was gonna text him, right? And he's noticed my not the original screensaver, but once I do my passcode, right, the second screen that comes up was my picture with the Lakers girls, right? And so he saw that and he's like, hey, are you with the Lakers girls, right? And I go, oh yeah, right. Yeah, that's when I was down there. And I go, back when I looked like an old lesbian, I said, he goes, nah, look more like one now. I was like, I fucking just laughed my ass off, right? Oh, fucking so it was hilarious. And so you got a good Sam Tripoli one in on me there. Yes, Joe Crow says yes, brown is smack. So yeah. So I kind of thought so. I'm not up on. I mean, they change these things. They go through generational changes and shit. Smack is a really old one, right? Shadows always comes up with those classic because he watches the classic movies, man. Hey, speaking of fucking any movies, bro, what's the good one you watched lately? Come on.
I haven't watched any in a while.
What? Now I am freaked out. I'm worried about you. We gotta get an intervention. Everybody, we gotta come together and pray for Shadow. No, there isn't shit worth watching, is there?
I watched this weird sound movie on Netflix with like
What was it called?
frequency. I forgot. It was like
It was that good.
this scientist made this mind control thing.
Oh yeah, it's always a mad scientist with some tech to take over the world.
Oh no, he was kidnapped.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah. Oh, he was gonna save the world, so they kidnapped him. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's a common theme, right? And I noticed that looking at a lot of the movies, it's normally the plot is mad science, right? And so
Yeah.
Logan Garfield. And you remember the old guy that stood his ground against a group of violent rioters, keeping him at a distance using a Freddy Krueger glove during the Floyd riots? He's getting 225 years in prison. Whoa. No, I don't recall that. Does anybody recall? I mean, he had
No.
a Freddy Krueger glove with some blades on it. And yeah. See, these group rioter violent fuckers, they're all pussies, right? They're all pussies. They literally are. And this is why they're all in groups, right? And if one dude can stand down a whole group, if the dude's pissed and fucking, right, Oh fuck, they run like cockroaches. Like, remember those rabbis, motherfuckers? They were in there in their fucking little jewelry thing, right? Where they use useless stones to con you out of your money, and they had their little diamond shop, right? There's like 20 of them in there. And one motherfucker comes in there, wasn't even armed, right? He comes in to fucking kick some ass and they're just fucking scattered like cockroaches, right? And that's how all these rioter type Antifa piece of dog shit motherfuckers are. I watched a few of those films back when, right? And one of the main guys that they were looking for, supposedly, right? Like they're gonna look for him. They're gonna let him go, right? Yeah, he was like literally fucking. One guy came over into their crowd to rustle them up, but there was enough of them to where they didn't scatter like roaches, right? And this guy that came in there, he was a big guy, but you could tell he was overweight and he was, out of shape, and so didn't pose enough of a threat for all 50 of them to fucking scatter, right? They still had a little cunt hair of bravery in him, right? Because there was way too many of them. The dude was a retard. What the fuck are you doing walking into a bunch of fucking cunts, right? Like that, without literally fucking taking them all out immediately, right? Don't go in there and like you're gonna push them around. No, you literally got to fucking start dropping them like fucking cockroaches, so they'll scatter like joggers, right? But he wasn't doing that, right? He was going over there just kind of, and I was like, "Ooh, look at this poor motherfucker," right? And sure as shit, you see one of these little scrawny little pencil armed motherfuckers, right? Little neck that barely seems like he can hold his head up, right? Little fucking whatever, right? Anyway, he grabs a blackjack out of his pocket, right? And as soon as he was hiding behind another dude, right? But as soon as the guy got spun around by the crowd, he sprinted up there and smashed him on the back of the head and then fucking ran right the fuck back and hid behind the guy again, right? Dude, you can watch him right on the tape do that exact thing. And he's hiding back there and he's getting ready to run, and then all of a sudden, he sees they rallying. So he runs back over and gets another smack in and runs back off, right? Anybody in this room fight like that? Oh, the fuck no, right? Fuck no. But this is, I mean, that guy's just emblematic of what they all are, right? Some of them just have a little more strength, right? Some of them are bigger because this guy was one of the scrawniest little cunts, right? Anybody like that even tried to step up to a person like myself, much less somebody like Jack or like Winmore, right? Who could just literally fucking just, crush him. Dude, for me, I'm not a big guy, but I know where to hit you at, right? And you're not gonna fucking dude. That shit will drop your ass to the ground, right? There's a few nice spots on the body you can hit, and one of them's usually available. No matter how well they're covering, there's something available, right? And even if they got the Bruce Lee stances covering most everything, you can still fake them because these guys are retards. And this was always my thing. I mean, I'm not a lefty, but I would stand southpaw and then fake a left, right? And they always go to guard, and you just fucking drill your fucking knuckle right into their fucking exposed kidney. And dude, that shit hurts, right? If you ever been hit in the kidneys, yeah, that shit will fuck you up for days too. It's not a pretty picture. And that was always my favorite. You fake left and fucking drill kidney right, because they're always wide open. They always go to protect their face or whatever, put their thing up to grab their nuts. And so that kidney's just it's just target, right? It's just, please hit me, So that's always been my favorite, because they always fall for it every time. Fucking stupid cunts, dude. You can do it to them multiple times too, right? Usually you shouldn't do the same thing twice, right, in a fight. But I've done it multiple times on people before because they'll just constantly fall for it. They're just that stupid, right? And and God, they'll be pissing blood after that shit. You get one or two good kidney hits, man. It's that's what happens. So, but normally if it's a big guy or anything like that, I'll kind of fake towards them, and I'll see which leg they go to stand on, and fucking I'll aim exactly for the knee, right on the side of the knee, because you've seen enough MMA fights, right? Those guys are totally trained and shit. Most people aren't, right? Most people's knees are bad already. And you fucking throw a fucking kick on the side of their knee like that, they're going down and they're not getting back up. They will not be able to get back up. They physically can't, because the leg will not support them. And so that's always a good one. And shit like that. But let's see. Oh yeah, the 25 years in prison sounds typical, right? You defend your property, get ready to get fucked in the ass. And see, dude, that's the thing about being here in Alaska, right? You don't hear any stories of that happening up here now, do you? No, you don't, because we don't fucking play that shit, right? We literally have it's legal to kill somebody on your own property, no problem, and it does happen, and you don't hear about anybody getting no fucking years for that. Fuck no, that doesn't happen here. It only happens in cunt holes. This guy must have been in L.A. or some fucking shit, right? Yeah, yeah. So you get for living there, move the fuck out.
That what?
You got doggy. I hear doggy.
That's my neighbor's dog.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Th-
Rotten
That
bastard.
was saying on the news. That was saying on the news that it was reported that our two biggest groceries, like food groceries, made 1.1 billion due to increase of
Yeah.
prices and
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Dude, that's all? Fuck.
Coles and Walmart.
Dude, single cunt holes like fucking Gil Bates and Bezos and all them made 20, 30 times that, right? Just one cunt, right? And so one grocery chain only made a few billion. Fuck, that's they were actually being pretty
No,
nice.
as in our two biggest ones that
Hmm.
they made that extra.
Yeah, yeah, sure. That not surprised at all, dude. What do you mean? We all knew it was one of the biggest wealth transfers there's ever been. They literally shut down everybody's small business and kept the big fucking stores open and said, "Yeah, this is for your safety." Right? Only retards fall for this shit. And as we can see, fucking what
DSW.
at least 50% of the motherfuckers that are roaming around the face of this earth are worse than retards because retards
The,
can actually learn, and these guys can't because they've closed their mind. So
well, I should just use the term DSW when I'm referring to retard.
there you go. Fucking A. Or NPC, right? I know you're a social worker. I got that one right off the bat. Yeah, it's funny, but it was. It's not how you crack me up when you make a joke about me, bro. Man, that's what I like the best. One
Nah,
more.
you're funny on your own.
Come on, I need a sidekick.
I didn't mean it in a compliment way.
I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. Winmore says, Reg, I remember that. I think that guy was a college professor in a mask wearing a sock with padlock in it, a complete coward. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. It was some kind of blackjack like that. Yeah. It was yeah, I think you're right. It was a sock with padlock and something like that. Fucking cracked the guy right in the back of the head, split his head open, ran fucking back and hid. And then he thought he was coming at him, he was fucking ready to run. And then all of a sudden the other guys rallied him and he's like, oh, I can get another hit in. And he ran over and did it again. Yeah. Antifa college professor. Yeah, yeah. Of course. I mean, this is what
Yeah.
they train them to do this, right? Acting like they didn't get a fucking instructions and a check in the fucking mail, which they did, right? So, and then not only that, but once again, only certain types of people will do this kind of thing. Like I said, anybody in this room would ever do anything that cowardly or stupid or scummy or be a scrawny little toothpick to begin with? Mm-mm, mm-mm, no, no, not at all. Right? And it's like I always ask people, how many people do you want to kill? And that should be none. But check it out. We know there's a lot of people on this earth who fucking salivating away that they can fucking kill people, right? So
They're
yeah,
in the
these are freaky
military.
weirds. They're in what?
They're in the military or police.
Yeah, right, dude. No, no, those dumb fucks that join the. I mean, they're way stupider, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean that's the whole thing. I realized this years ago, right? Because we used to have to deal. Wait, what?
I should have said private military. That's kind of different.
Yeah, mercenary, way different. But those guys aren't stupid enough to fucking become government property, right? But yeah, I realized this a long time ago because we used to have to deal with a lot of these guys, mostly Coast Guard, but there was also there was like a sub base there, just outside Ketchikan, right? And so there'd always be these fucking squids roaming around all the time, not all the time, but when they come in, boom, there's a shitload of them, right? And you deal with these fuckers and you realize that they're all pretty fucking stupid, right? They are. They're some of the dumbest fucks ever. And you sit there and wonder, gee, these are the guys protecting our fucking country. These fucking dudes who, right? Because I mean, most of the time they're just getting shit faced drunk, which makes everybody stupid. But you could tell even before they got drunk, they weren't that fucking bright, right? And so I realized that a long time ago, man. Gee, could you imagine they actually had a military with the smartest people? Because the smartest people, they know the fuck way they're going to join that shit, right? Because they can make a living otherwise. Because most people, these are just dumb fucks who can't get a job anywhere, so go join the military, right? And
I've,
so, yeah, could you imagine we actually had a fucking military of people who actually had brains, right?
I've,
Wow.
I've got to go.
God damn it, boy.
But
We're just getting into it. We was just starting to flow, man.
I'll, I'll let you into something I just found out this week.
Good, good.
Did you know that NASA has a SWAT?
They have a what?
NASA has their own SWAT division.
Okay. Of course. I mean, just like they're fucking arming IRS agents, right? And tell them, hey, you can shoot people over due money, right? Yeah, good, good. No,
Yeah.
I did not actually. I don't think I knew that. So, well, they're getting ready. They know some shit's gonna happen, right? I mean, that's the whole thing, right? Oh, we better fucking arm up. Why do you think the government bought billions of bullets? Remember?
The IRS.
Yeah, for IRS and well, NASA too.
The,
It looks like because
uh,
people are going to finally figure out that this trillion, fucking gajillion, bajillion, quadrillion yen that they get every day is
it's
not
well
helping, right? They'll show you a few fake pictures and say, "Hey, we're making progress," right? They've been saying that
yeah,
for my whole life. What progress? I don't see anything, right? Rockets blow up all the time,
I got it.
right? There ain't no progress. They've never made progress. It's fraud, right? And so once finally a critical mass of people figure that out, they're gonna have to defend their fucking little fakey little fucking shithole, right? I
I've
saw
got
that
to go.
shithole. Well, at least the one in Texas, right? When I was down there, we went by that fucker NASA
It,
museum or whatever, and they got these fucking little pieces of junk sitting out there like they went to space and shit, right? It's so funny.
I gotta go, but if you're still here in an hour, I'll jump on.
Right on. Maybe we might be. So come back. All right. Cheers, brother. Have a good one.
Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
All right. Love the fucking
The-
new. I always love the new everything, right? Oh hey, did you hear that Futurama is doing a new season? I just heard this.
yeah,
Yeah, I saw an
yeah.
ad. Futurama's back. Fuck yeah, one of my favorite cartoons of all time. That's why I recognize that suicide booth right there, right? And so I'm gonna be checking out me some Futurama. So all right, big love, brother. Thanks for joining. Yeah, come back if we're still on. Definitely jump back on.
And don't forget, vote Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, or Hillary the Hurricane that never showed up. My buddy lives down there, right there where they say it's going, and I fucking hit him up. I knew it was fraud, right? I'm like, so how's the hurricane going? He fucking chuckles. He's like, yeah, just a little rain, bro. And I'm like, yeah, I knew it. So that's how that's going. All right, brother.
Yeah, bye.
Have a good one. Cheers. Okay, one more. NASA's SWAT is for that alien invasion that's coming. Yeah. You're probably on that. So let me pull up my Insta scam page, and we'll go through the scam, and then have discussions about that as we like to do. Do you guys want to see any of my posts lately? These are my posts. This is on the screen. Yeah. Okay. There's my ping pong table. See, and then the pool table is right under it. And this pool table is killer, right? It's better than any bar table I played on. Here's my creek. Did I take a video down the creek? The doggies. My word, doggies. Let's watch the doggies. Oh yeah, this is one where I try to give her a carrot. She loves carrot.
Get the carrot. Get the carrot.
It's funny. I'll turn that thing off. But I miss that little doggy. That little doggy gave me a lot of fun times. Little Chowini there. That's Remy. And I'm still debating with her. Right? Am I gonna get a doggies? I might. Cause look at how cute that dog is. She was so much fun. She was too. So much fun with a Wemmy, the Wembuckis, as we called her. But she was with me for like about 6 months. So just enough time to get attached. And then they come take her away. And I was like, no, not my Wemmy. But I what could I do, right? And not only that, but I mean, yeah, I had to let her go. Let it go. Oh, wait, this is one of those songs. Wait. Let me get out of this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the other news. By the way, you guys, I haven't told you yet, but I have been putting the Amir Pawn song together, and I literally recorded it, but I haven't mixed it and did any of the puppet work. But it is definitely going on. This is the blanket toss. I wonder if you guys seen this. This is one of the wheel games, but this comes from a traditional activity. They take this. See that what they're using is a big. It's like a walrus skin blanket, right? That they tie together, sew together. And what they're doing is they're pulling the person up because up there up north, it's flatland, right? It's fucking tundra, baby. And so they fling these people up in the air and they can see further over, right? If you see the further in the distance and see if they see some caribou or something, and they know which direction to go and hunt because they could search blindly and not get anything, right? And that's the guy who's the Eskimo ninja right here, the guy who's doing it right now. And so, but this kid was the one who, in everybody's mind, won, even though he missed on that one. Look at him; he's going to do a twisting forward flip here. Or do you see that twisting flip he just did? Fucking shit's bad out. That's Seth Strange, one of my little buddies from the wheel. And when he did that twisting flip, man, boom! Even though he missed the other two times, I was like, give him the gold, but they gave him the silver. So that kid was something else. I don't go to those anymore. Sure, everybody's seen my mom's thing, right? Let's watch it again so I can cry. The border. That's right. Top of the world, Ma. Let's go to Prudhoe Bay. There's my border.
Just passing through Eagle River right now, heading up to where the fire is at Nenana to see what damage it's done and make history this day, June 22nd. This is the second day after the longest day of the year. So we're having more fun than on the ship. Me and my baby bit.
Anyway, we're going to take off to another border.
Yeah, that one chokes me up when she says that every time. She says, me and my baby Reggie, right? Because she did favor me. And I know everybody in my family knows that. That's probably what pisses them off, is how much my mother favored me. And it's only because of the massive amount of love and respect we shared for each other, right? It wasn't just me respecting her. She did the same for me. She saved my ass a couple of times, multiple times. And that's why I returned the favor with her. And a lot of it was, man, I just fucking couldn't see her eating the junk food anymore, right? And I knew that if I didn't cook the meals for her, because she was an okay cook, right? But that's what she'd do. She'd just go out and get a burger, right? And we all know where that goes. And so that's why I made a commitment to cooking every meal, because I don't like to eat trash either. And that's why I love cooking, because I love to eat good food. And so that was our whole deal. She got so much different assistance, Social Security, all that shit. And she way bought too much food all the time anyway. And this fucking house got shitload in it anyway. Right. And I kept saying, quit buying so much food. We got to use some of the stuff from the freezer. It's going to freezer burn. Stop buying food. Right. She couldn't. She just couldn't. It's just like the hoarder mentality. Right. And so hoarding, right. Every time, like, when she goes to the store, she goes, I'm going to go to the store. You want anything? I said, no. If I say I want something, you're going to get too much of it. And she chuckled. Right. I just, make sure, remember, there's only two of us. Don't buy more than we can eat before it spoils. Because I'd be struggling to cook the stuff before it'd go bad, right? Especially when I first got here, she was, still kind of scatterbrained. But after she got the toxins flushed out, she started to, she got quite a bit better. And so, me, myself, when I go to the store, I know exactly what I'm getting, and I know exactly how long it's going to last. Because, shit, I've been cooking for myself for so long that you don't have to cook very much. Dude, it took me a while to get used to cooking for myself rather than cooking on a boat where you got to cook a fucking shitload of food for 5-6 guys, right? And literally we're starving our ass off because we're working. Literally mountains of food. I eat fucking 5 times the food I eat when I'm working on a boat. And so I used to get stuck in that too. Cook too much and be like, fuck, that's right. I don't need that much food and don't need to waste it either, right? And so I've learned how to cook where I could cook and have enough to save to where I could use that, right? And just know exactly what I'm going to do. Know exactly what I'm going to do with it. And so Winmore, Reg, love the pool table tennis. So yeah, dude, you and me both, bro. It's the only thing that gives me any fucking bit of, uh, you know, fun, right? Any bit of respite from all the bullshit, right? And I noticed that right after I got it, we set it up, and I was out there fucking playing pool. I realized I was fucking listening to music, and I started fucking singing along, and I'm kind of dancing around. I'm like, God damn, am I happy? Fuck, holy shit, this is a new thing, right? And I realized that I was like, wow, I fucking it's been that long since I've been happy that I actually notice it. Right. And so yes, it was like the first time I actually felt a little bit of happiness. And this is before all the fucking hatred letters came in of my fuck stained, cunt stained fuckholes. Gotta stop calling them my, because they aren't. But these pieces of shit that trying to rob me and destroy my life before all those letters came in, right? They all came in at once. And anyway, I'm actually not too bad now. Now that I've been able to talking to you guys, right, get some of the shit out. But it's not that bad because I know that it's going to be very difficult for them to try to sustain what they think they're doing. And not only that, but they don't even understand that they haven't, everything that they've said doesn't make any effect on the holographic will yet, right? There's only a few things. I mean, I talked to a pretty sharp attorney when I found it before I even brought it in, right? I wanted to know exactly because I looked it up online, but I want to know, right? And I knew it says online, it's like, in most cases, it's totally legal, right? Because there's probably been a cunt hair cases where they weren't, but they have to say that because statistically, right? So I called in, I called a bunch of people. I found my notes. I'm going to fucking talk to this guy again. I'm going to call him tomorrow. I had to wait till I got paid because I want to give him some money, right? And then I'm literally probably going to go into town tomorrow and set all this shit up and, you know, be ready to just walk upon all their bullshit. And that's one of the things that I will also say too after it's all over. I'm going to say, well, you guys owe me for all the trouble that I've gone through to keep the estate going. Even if I mean, they'll say, oh, we're not getting things for better. No, that's not how it works. And that won't be how it works either. I'm going to literally already have a bill even before we even go to the final thing. I'm going to tally up everything. And I'm literally going to present them all with their share because they say that they all want a share of this place and that'd be fair, right? So it works both ways. It's fair for you to have a share in all the expenses that I've incurred and fucking all the hardship that I've gone through having to fucking survive here solo, which none of them could do. None of them. None of them. They could say they could all they want, but we all know it's fraud, right? They could not fucking. Like I said, my one brother's ward estate. He's a retard, drunken piece of shit. He can't do anything but sit there and wait for his dinner, right? It's the best he can do. And then my piece of shit. Well, I stopped saying mine because they're not mine anymore. The piece of shit down in Washington has literally never had a job, and his wife completely sustains him. I don't even think he can cook himself a meal. I'm not, dude. That's sad, right? I don't feel proud saying this, right? Because fuck, man, that's one useless motherfucker, isn't it? And I have to say he's related to me, and this fucking poor fucking piece of dog shit can't even fucking cook, can't even fend for himself. Oh man, that's tough, right? It's tough to be able to have to admit. Oh, but he doesn't care. No, he thinks in his own mind he's the greatest guy ever and can literally do anything, anytime, anywhere, any place, even though he's never done anything, anytime, anywhere, any place, right? He can if he wants to, but he'd rather stand around and cuss at the TV drinking coffee, right? I've seen him do it. Stayed down there at his house once. Went down there just supposed to meet this girl that I met on the cruise ship, but at the same time he was gonna supposedly teach me how to do some carving, right? It's back when I was way naive. And actually, to tell the God's honest truth, motherfucker's an amazing carver, bro. I'm not even kidding you. Fucking back in the day when he actually did some work, That motherfucker, literally, man, I've seen some of his pieces, man. That fucker was unbelievable carver, right? And his scrimshaw, yeah, you know, he thinks it's the greatest ever, but it didn't sell that much, and I myself was not a fan of his scrimshaw. But his carvings, I swear to God, I don't think I've. There's rare people that could outdo him on that. He was really fucking good at it, and so. But that was like we're talking about fucking almost 40 years ago, right? This is back when he actually still did it, and he did, dude. That motherfucker churned out some pieces. I'm not even kidding you. And this is why it's so hard to realize that he just decided not to do anything anymore, right? Retire or whatever. It's sad because the motherfucker was truly a gifted artist, and that's no joke. And you're my drunk brother, man. My drunk brother Sam, and I'm not joking to you about him either, man. That motherfucker, his scrimshaw, I was a big fan of, right? I mean, I'm okay at it, but that motherfucker was, I mean, there. I got to admit it. I don't think there was many people that were any better at it than him. I think he was literally at the top of the fucking heap on that shit, and I'm not joking. That motherfucker was brilliant at that shit. I seen a couple of his pieces that I was just like, what the fuck, right? He made this piece once that, I mean, he was always doing something really cool back then too, right? Back when he had a brain. And he came up with this fucking it's the first time I ever seen a tip of a tusk standing, right? And I was like, I thought that was cool. Damn, it's standing rather than usually they'll take a tusk and they'll mount it on some type of side, you know, it'll be laying to the side and you'll see the scene because normally that'll give you the most area to work on for artwork on this little skinny tooth, right? This tusk from a walrus, right? And so he had taken this tip one and he just leveled it off to where it was standing, right? And so it's challenging to do a really good scene and that's tall, that's got a lot of room going up and a very little skinny space going wide, right? That's why they always lay him down so you can lay the scene out and you got a bigger scene, right? But the scene he came up for that fucker was genius. It was insane. And so I remember to this day because I still fucking I still think about that piece, right? Because I mean, I was like, fuck, man. I actually wanted to do something similar, but I could never figure it out. He had this scene where, and he was brilliant about backgrounds too, right? Man, fuck, I can't do a background to save my life, but that motherfucker, I can do the main characters really well, but in the overall, you gotta be able to do the backgrounds too, right? And that was always my weakness. So this is why I always did whales like they were underwater and shit like that, so I wouldn't have to, right? But they sell fast, right? And I don't put that much work into them, blah, right? But he made the scene where it was we always do a wolf moose scene, right? Wolves pack of wolves going around a moose, right? And normally that's why you lay it out so you can have the pack around it, and that's how I always did it. And I used to do one that was actually pretty popular, which was a bull moose backed up against a tree, this big ass bull moose, and these wolves coming around like, and the lead, the alpha wolf, is creeping up on him, and it's just like fuck. It's a really cool scene, and it took me years to perfect that motherfucker, right? And I finally did by practicing on baleen, but it's so hard to fit on ivory. And once I got the characters figured out and the spacing and all that, blah. Anyway, Sam did the scene with the tusk standing up, and it was the wolves circling around the moose, and eventually one of them was going to have to go in for the attack, right? And normally it's the alpha, and they'll burn in there and go for a bite somewhere, right? And so it was the moment after that happened, right? And you could see this fucking moose. He's backed up against a tree, and you can see the other wolves in the background, and some of them circle around. And the first thing I noticed was like, okay, the moose looked weird because it was like it was in a weird stance. I'm like, why is it standing? And I looked up above it, and here's the fucking wolf that's getting flung in the air by the fucking by the moose's antlers, right? Because they'll do that. The fucking thing will come in, they'll put their head down, and as soon as they get in range, they'll fucking fling that motherfucker in the air with their rack, right? And bull moose are fucking powerful motherfuckers, man. They can do it. And so I sat there and looked at that scene for fuck, I don't know. I couldn't take my eyes off it, right? I just kept sitting there looking at it and like going, fuck, man, how did he get the dynamics right on this, right? Because it looked legit. It looked like, I mean, it wasn't there was, I mean, it looked like a photograph in the dynamics of it. The wolf was flinging and the moose was doing this and the other ones were around. I was just like, I was stunned, right? I was like, oh my God. I was like, no way, dude. I was like, and he goes, not bad, huh? And I'm like, not bad. Fuck you, man. This shit is genius. How'd you do this, right? He's like, he just chuckles, right? And I mean, that back when he was still quasi cool, right? But no, that shit was genius. And I was like, man, I mean, if I could have bought that piece myself, I would have, because it was that fucking insane, right? And I remember fucking, I kind of hung on to it as long as I could before he had to take it and give it to the shop owner, right? He's like, hey, you hang on that tusk all day, and I'm like, bro, man, it's like, come on, you know. Reluctantly give it to him, right? And I was like, well, it's going away. I'll never see it again, right? The fucking thing was amazing, and so he wasn't always the piece of living dog shit he is now, but that shit, like I said, both of them had serious, incredible talent that they just stopped doing. Right? It stopped. I know. I've seen. I know my brother Randy doesn't, because he starts complaining about his back anytime you bring up anything. Who knows? Maybe he does some a little bit here and there, right? Nothing like me, right? I'm constantly working on this shit, and they scoff at that. But I literally sell hundreds of drums. I sell literally hundreds of pieces a year, right? And whereas I mean, I know my brother Randy, he still has some of the fucking pieces he made 40 years ago, because you know this is the thing about it. You put he's like, detail, everything's detail. Fucking did all these details. He put a spider web in one and blah, blah, right? He thinks it's all part of that. No, you put a fucking 100,000 hours of work in that. Now you're gonna have to charge way too much, and nobody's ever gonna buy it. And that's exactly what happens, right? Oh, but sure, it's a great piece. Don't get me wrong, pretty nice, but still got it, so it didn't sell. And so, and that's the thing about that, when you do elaborate work like that, and you're not able to get your price that you need to pay for the hours that you put into it. Normally, what you have to do is let it go for less, or else you're hanging on to it for the rest of your life. And I've seen pieces like this too, right? I've seen some of them. I mean, mostly it's because they're shitty, right? And my brothers hardly ever did anything that was shitty. I mean, they were pretty spot on, and even still, Sam's work is pretty good. But it's just, it's changed, right? It's kind of, it's he was a fan of Conan comic books, right? His all his fucking wolves and moose and shit, they all look like they're straight out of a Conan comic book, right? And they almost look like they fucking should have a battle sword in their hands already, right? And so there's just too much, right? He likes it, but no buyer's not gonna buy that shit. And that's why I make these real subtle type scenes where I don't put a lot of time into it. I cut little pieces so I can sell them for a cut rate. Shit that they would never do, right? And they said that before, man. But I sell fucking 100,000 times more pieces than them, and therefore make more money, because that's how it works anymore. The economy isn't like it used to be. See, back then when they were doing the shit back in like the 80s and shit, dude, fucking tons of money. Dude, I remember, let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me grab a piece of alien and I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, this is like a handful of the ones that I'm currently fucking with right now, and these are really nice ones. Okay, see what I'm holding up here is, there, you can see it in the angle. These are pieces of baleen that come from the mouth of the whale, right? And so basically what it is, you get one good example here. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I'm holding at an angle. You can see it, but it's actually pretty long. It's got a tip, very hairy stuff. It's keratin, similar to our own fingernails, and part of its hair. It's actually, the hair goes all the way through it, right? These things are average 10 feet in length. Some of them can get up to 18 feet long, right? These are just little tips off. This piece probably came from one that was at least 12 feet long, judging by the amount of hair and how thick the tip is here. So see, it's really interesting. So once you hang this piece on a wall over there, right, like this, you see the hair hanging down. That's what makes it interesting, right? Is it, and it looks cool, and this is why it has good uh, traditional artistic value sale. You sell them all the time. I haven't done a lot of baleen work lately, but I'm getting back into it, and it's awesome. It is. I can't. I mean, I've just started back into it, but I'm just like, fuck it. I got so much baleen that I'm like, fuck. Right on, because I'm gonna start busting this shit out, and I'm gonna start selling it. And so this piece is actually pretty nice. Okay, and so this one might still get. I might be able to get, if I do it right, I should be able to get $150 anyway out of it. But there was a time where I could take one of these other little scrawnier pieces like this, right? And it didn't matter what you put on it, you get at least 200 for it, at least, right? And so I used to do these little scenes where I'd like, okay, I put the bull moose down here, and then the other wolves coming over here, and a little bit of background, and boom, it flies, right? And so $200 all fucking day long for a little one like that, maybe 2 feet long. Now for a little one, small. I mean, these are pretty big ones. These are my some of my best pieces, right? And so, yeah, you're lucky to get $95 for them if you're in a good spot, but you're probably looking more like maybe sometimes you might have to settle for 50, right? And that would be unheard of X amount of years ago. But I've been in the business for a while, and I've watched it decline, right? Because people just don't have that disposable income that they used to have, right? And so, but yeah, it's if you do it right though, and you get like when I was down at Kitch Can, I could sell them all day long to the tourists because it's really interesting stuff. And and I take these things, and I'll take and cut them into chunks, right? Take and cut a chunk off, chunk, right? Take those little chunks and put just a couple whales on it, and then mount it. Or sometimes I don't even have to mount it, right? I've been doing them with the hair side up. Normally everybody does them with the hair side down, but I've been doing the hair side up, so that way they can take the piece and just literally set it on a shelf, and it'll still look cool. Or I tell them, set it on a shelf, get one of those little fucking uh, like a frame holder or a shadow box or something like that. And so I haven't had to do any base, because usually they say any kind of artwork piece needs a base, right? So they can set it on a stand, so to speak. And I haven't had to do any of that because of, you know, literally selling little chunks of them sometimes for the lowest $20. And my brothers used to say, fuck, do that. I'm like, dude, you do your thing, I'll do mine, right? And so I found out that, okay, here we go. We'll do the math. See this piece right here? I could do a fucking killer scene on it and still not get $200 for it, right? And have to settle for maybe even, I mean, dude, I'm telling you, fucking end up selling one of these for sometimes for 50, 75, something like that, right? Just to get it. But if you chop it, boom, 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 down, and like usually they're much bigger. And when I get a 10-foot piece, I cut it in like about 5-inch chunks, right? Maybe the towards the wider end, I'll do them a little bit longer, right? A little bit bigger, and say, okay, you do one, that's $100 piece. Then you go 90, 80, 70. See what I'm saying? Smaller the piece gets, so it's all the way down there to where it's a little skinny little fucking chunk. You're only gonna get $20 for that. But you chop that fucker up and do those scenes, which are much easier to do. You're gonna get more for it chopping it up than you are trying to get a one big sale. And I'm sure you guys can get that. Move a lot more smaller pieces, less price than you are with those big sales. I always keep a big chunk available too, right? Always have one or two on the table, so that way you can make that high dollar sale. But don't rely on that shit, because sometimes they take years to sell, right? And like I said, my brother still has shit that never sold because he wants too much for it and too hard to get that. So I've seen people he's not the only one. There's fucking so many artists, man. I've gone to so many of these shows. There's this one dude who did this fucking big kick-ass head mount, the fucking one of the biggest head mounts I've ever seen. And the artwork on it looks like it was done with a little kid with a magic marker. And I'm not joking. Dude, you'll look at it and go, I mean, I looked at it and I looked at the guy and I was like, and you got to be subtle, right? Because, you might be insulting their artwork, right? But I was looking at him, I was like, and I go, hey, man, because I seen that fucking thing there. I keep seeing it, right? I keep seeing this piece. I could walk by his table all the time and it's still sitting there, right? This awesome fucking head mount. But it's just got magic marker looking fucking artwork on it. So who the fuck's gonna buy that shit? Right? They say that it's like a primitive style, right? Because there was the way it first originated. I mean, the old Nates were just barely scratching stick figures on them, right? They didn't have any kind of you know, the art that we do now. And so they call it primitive, right? Rustic primitive style. And so that's what he was going for. And after, I don't know, 10 years of seeing that fucking thing there, finally I was walking by his table and I just stopped. And I looked at him and I've always been looking at this head mount, right? I go, this thing is one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. I said, I don't mean to overstep my bounds or anything, but if you would like to rework it, I could put a scene on there and you could sell this right away. And he just gave me that little look like that. And I'm just like, all right, then. Sorry to bother you, right? Off I go, right? And it's just like, fuck, man. What the fuck is with these guys, right? Because it wouldn't take that much. I looked at it for a while and it would just take a minimum amount of sanding to get rid of that fucking garbage shit that was on it and scrimp some good shit on it. And I mean, the shit that I do is, like I said, sells quite a bit, quite quickly because I have a different way of looking at it than anybody else does, as far as I know. Especially my brothers, man, they were all into like the major detail, all the background, all that shit. And I was like, man, you don't have to do that. You can get away with this. And they're like, right, okay, whatever. But let's see what we got for comments here. Joey says dogs are great. Yes, they indeed are. I got a friend who's got one, so I get my dog fixed when I go over there, right? Because I like that dog. And say he always comes over, like get to pet him for a while. It's so fun. Rooster Tucker's President Trump interview hits 75 first hour. Yeah, of course. Billions should have billions and billions of views, right? It's all fraud. Win more Rooster, and that's power. That is what the Democrats fear. Oh man, you still thinking that? Come on, when more they fucking none of them fear each other. It's a fraud, dude. And that's why that's the same thing. Bill Hicks says, Alex Jones all the time. Oh, the globalists are fucking terrified, right? And I sit there and no, they aren't. Right? Everything's going just exact to schedule, right? They haven't even really fucking hit us with the real shit yet. They are definitely not terrified. And same with the Democrats or the Republicans. The Democrats or the Republicans, neither of them are in fear. It's a big fucking show. The fuck, dude, see what shitty actors there? You think Pelosi is a good actor? Fuck no. They got to get the most sold out pieces of dog shit there is. And so that's why they have these people that can't act that well. And that's why it's such a joke, right? But now they don't care anymore. As I said before, years ago, they don't care anymore. They're rubbing our face in it. They're saying, yep, it's all a fraud. See, but what you gonna do? Right? So that's where they're at now. And it's going to get much worse, much worse. So, like we keep saying, enjoy it now. Rev Truth, I see so much of her in you and Reg. Really? Thank you. Thank you so much. No, I appreciate that. I always looked more like my father when I was younger, right? And I never, my mom and I had very little resemblance then, but I think maybe we do more now, right? And so I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you. Man, that makes me feel good. It does. Literally does. Was my fucking radio still on? But I was like, there's no way I'm hearing any voices here unless they're ghosts. But thank you. I know that fucking makes me feel real good. It does. See, okay, there's a story that my mom used to tell me too. Before we jump back onto the Instagram bullshit. Telling the story when I was born, right? And it's pretty funny. So I was the only one born here in Anchorage, or in Anchorage, closer here. Everybody else, all the others, they're not mine. They were all born in Fairbanks. And before my mother and father got divorced, I found the divorce certificate here recently, and it didn't happen until 1966. But they were separated for a year or so before that. Born in 64, so I was just a baby uh, when my mom finally bailed. Right, actually, she bailed, went down to Anchorage to have me at the new hospital. Right, she's fucking fuck Fairbanks, boom, and then she was already had it in mind to leave my dad, right, and stop being abused by him. I mean, her written testimony, man, fuck, man, God, if I'd have known all this shit, I would never have given that fucking rotten bastard so much respect, right? And this is how he got away with fucking me because I didn't know what a fucking douchebag he was. But yeah, he literally, uh, uh, you know, broke my mom's teeth and shit like that. I mean, just what a fuckhead, right? I mean, I don't even like to think about it. But I found her notes on all that shit and stuff, right? And it's just because my mom, I mean, she was incessant journal keeper, and there's fucking literally stacks of fucking notebooks around here with different chunks of different eras, right? Because she was kind of bad at that too, right? Write down in one notebook for a while, and then lose that one in the pile of hoard of shit she has here. Then I have to start writing another one. So I'm constantly looking at every fucking notebook I find through every page to find little chunks of her log throughout the years, right? And yeah, she had basically made up her mind to finally leave my dad, the prick, the fucking the cocksman, right? The self-proclaimed cocksman. I know what he was like. He would put his cock in anything. And he's what a douchebag, right? Married man, but would fuck anything that walked, basically. So this is why I never took any advice from him, right? Because I mean, I had to respect him as my father, but as a person, I didn't care for him that much because he was such a dickhead like that, right? And especially what I knew that he did to my mother. And I literally, when I was a little kid, I couldn't say anything. But after I started to come up and became older and started becoming the guy on the boat, right, the release skipper and shit like that, I think it was the first time I ever said it was when I was about 15. And I was still a scrawny kid, right? My old man could fucking erase me off the earth with one finger because he was a big fucking mean cocksucker, as I keep telling you. And he was. I don't know anybody to this day, there ain't anybody on earth that can say they ever bested that guy because they didn't. And we know that for a fact. That motherfucker was the meanest motherfucker there is. And yeah, whew, dude, I will put him up against anybody. I don't care. Tyson, whatever, dude, because the old man didn't fight fair, right? And he knew how to do it. But he was literally a terrifying motherfucker, dude. I lived in abject fear of this motherfucker for a long time, right? Because I knew he had it in him. He'd beaten me enough times that I knew one more wouldn't fucking hurt, right? But he started to lose control of me, and so he had to pull back on that, right? So he started to try to act all good and nice and cool because he desperately needed a slave to, you know, keep fucking making him money in his mind, right? But I finally stood up to him once because I realized that he had to back off from beating me up, right? And so I was like, okay, so I do have something because I could walk away at any time. So I had enough experience then, and I should have. I should have so many times, but he was a master manipulator and always talked me into coming back. But finally, one time, because this is how it would go with both of them too, right? And I even said it to my mom too. Finally, one time, but they always, whenever they bring the other one up, they always, oh, your dumb dad this or your stupid mom that, right? It always started that. Never anything other than you're dumb or you're stupid or you're whatever, right? And finally, well, my old man did it right, and I was just sitting there, and I don't even know how it came up. I think I talked to my mom or something like that, and I was not even trying to say anything. I was just like, I said something. Oh, that was what it was. My grandpa he wanted me to go up and learn how to go trapping with him, and to be God's honest, I did want to learn that, but it happens during the winter, right? And we were doing crabbing then, and the crabbing was, you know, make good money. It was important. So it was I was sitting there, man, God, if I go up there, I'm not going to make any money, but I'm going to learn this trade, right? So plus I love my grandpa, man. My grandpa was fucking badass. really the nicest guy ever, right? Never would harm a fly. So that's why I love my grandpa so much. But I mean, when my mom told me that, she was like, "Yeah, Dad wants you to come up and go trapping." And I was like, I kind of laughed. I was like, "Are you serious?" And she's like, "Yeah, serious." I'm like, "No shit." And I was like, "Oh my god." And I started to think, "God damn, how can I do this?" Right? And I started to try to figure it out, how I might be able to, at least get some time to go up there and run trap line with my grandpa. And he ran a dog team and everything, right? And I was like, "Oh my god, I got to do this," right? And I started to sit there and I was like, "Oh fuck, the old man's gonna shit," right? And I'm like, "God, how am I gonna approach this subject?" And yeah, I took some time to think about it, and I remember we were on the boat, and I was like, I just had to blurt it out, right? I was like, "Yeah," I talked to my mom, and says my Nick, my grandpa, my dad called him Nick, right? And so I said, "Grandpa Nick wants me to come up and run the trap line." And the old man fucking, he knew. Oh, he's like, "Oh fuck, shit," right? He couldn't let that happen because he was desperate to keep me on the boat because he didn't want to he didn't want to have to do it all, right? Which he would have had to do because we were going trip for trip. I would run the boat one, he'd go to run the boat the next, right? So we were, and I was like, "Dude, I can do my trip off, right?" But he didn't want me. He knew that I would probably like it so much that I wouldn't want to come back, which is probably true, right? And so he just didn't even want to let me even break away. And so we were like, and he just kind of, well, he tried to play it diplomatically. Like, "Yeah, you're right, but you ain't gonna make no money there," right? He started his angles, right? And I was just like, I can't remember. It was going along. The conversation was going along, and I said, "Well, Mom said," and he goes, "Well, you're a stupid mother." And I said, "Hey, fuck you!" I said, "Don't fucking ever say that to my mother again, all right?" I said, "Or I'm walking off this fucker forever. You got me?" And everything changed right there in that fucking thing, right? Just changed right there. And he just, "Okay," he said, right? And I was like, "Yeah." And I fucking turned around and walked off. I go, "I'll be back later." And I fucking left, right? And I left to go shit my pants because I was literally fucking scared shitless that I fucking spoke to him that way, right? Because there's no way I could get away with that, talking that way with my dad, right? But I mean, I just blew up. I one moment of weakness, right? I said, "Fuck you, man. Don't fucking talk to my mother like that, motherfucker." Right? And he just, fuck, he literally turned white too, right? Nothing like that had ever happened. And I said, "I'll be back later." And I fucking left before fuck, you never know. He might still fucking backhand me across the fucking universe, right? So I bounced. When I came back, he was all wearing his reading glasses and reading at the table, all sophisticated, right? So I was like, "Oh, good, I got away with this fucker." Right? Oh, yeah. And so I was like, "Man, I better not push it. I better, try to put this trapping thing off." And so, as it turned out, my grandpa ended up having to do something else, right? And so it didn't go down anyway. And so I never did get to go up there and go trapping with him. But like I said, I blew up on him that one time, and our whole relationship kind of changed right then, right? And so very crazy. But that's how it was with the old man. And I mean, I really did want to learn trapping. There's a bag of traps here, and I kind of know how to do it. But I mean, my grandpa would have taught me the tricks, right? The tricks of the trade, the shit that you're never going to learn, or it'll take you 20 years to learn, right? Teach you one little stupid trick, and oh my God, change your whole thing, right? And that's the same way with his fishing, any of that. So, all right. See what we got. When we're brave is the wrong word, more like crazy. 100%, right? When we're Regis, I told you before, my dad was one mean one too. Yeah, I can get that. I mean, after he got back from Vietnam, he joined biker too. My old man was fucking biker too, right? Same fucking thing. He never went. I mean, he did a limited service thing, and he never went to any war or anything. He did a limited get out of. He was actually part cop, right? And so that was, as long as he did one of those, right? So, it's a biker game before marrying my mom and had me. I was always terrified of him after so much fighting. Yeah, dude. Those motherfuckers, dude. My dad's on his chopper, his clutch, dude. You had to fucking be super fucking strong just to pull his clutch back, right, dude? I'm not even kidding you. Fucking as a kid, I would sit there and use every both hands and all the strength I had and I could barely fucking get that thing to go in, right? And even my brothers and shit, right? Even my oldest brother, he had to use 2 hands to pull in my dad's clutch. That's how fucking bad it was. But my old man, his meat hooks, boop, right? No problem, right? And so, yeah, he was one terrifyingly strong motherfucker. And I know because I felt the brunt. Dude, like I say, I made the joke about this too, right? There's multiple different levels to my father's beating, right? And the joke I made was perfectly honest, right? Because my old man, he's like, he literally had 2 different voices. Um, and I noticed this. This is exactly how it happened. This is why I told the joke, right? He was all pissed off us for whatever, some fucking thing we did, right? And when he's coming in, man, and he's pulling his belt off, you just go, oh fuck me dead, right? Oh fuck, here we go, right? Ain't getting out of this one unscathed. No, got a beating coming, right? and most of the time, you try to keep the beating to your body, right? So it wasn't that bad, but occasionally, you know, he what I said, 2 levels of beating. Um, so the first level is just the mere backhand, right? Just where he fucking jab slaps you, right? And that's just a warning. Yeah, there's no beating at all. The level 2 is when you actually catch air from the backhand, right? Backhands you so hard you fly across the fucking room, and that happens. And it happened to me multiple times, right? And so yeah, that's just a level 2. That's still a warm up, right? You still haven't gotten your beating yet. That just tells you what level you're on. And so yeah, the slap. I mean, dude, I learned how to go limp, right? You go limp, you're good. You fucking tense up, bam, you won't be fucked up, right? So as soon as anything was coming towards me, I just limp out and fly, right? And you just lay where you land and hope that he, thinks that might be enough, right? Don't do anything. That's all I do. The other boys would get up, fuck that. I would just lay right there and cry, right? And hope that he would not, his anger would quell. Right? But if you did bad enough, right? He'd say, "Don't you fucking move! I'm not done with you yet." And the phone would ring, and he'd go, "Hello," with his fucking awesome speaker. "Hey, Bill, what's up? Oh no, I'm just sitting around beating the kids." Like he's joking, right? And that was the exact joke, right? Because yeah, don't you fucking move! Hey, hello, hey, what's up? Yeah. I ain't done. Right? 2 different fucking speaking voices entirely. And when he was delivering the beating, and he would talk to you while he was giving the beating too, right? And he'd tell you exactly why he was beating you. I remember it distinctly because I used it in the joke too, right? And he was like, took the belt off and started whipping me. He's like, "So you gonna fucking steal a pack of fucking cigarettes and smoke them across the sheet at the neighbor's shed, right?" Yeah, literally. He's beating the flying fuck out of me. So makes for a funny joke, but when you're getting the beating, not that funny. But a little more about the character of me, dear father. Yeah, like I said, he did teach me a few good things. Taught me how to run a boat. Taught me how to fucking be a slave, be a good slave. But dude, there was never a day in my life that I was not afraid that he might beat the fuck out of me, right? And so, yeah, you just ride that fine line. Just keep me happy. If you can keep the old man happy, you don't have to worry about any violence on his part. But there's a line you can cross. And my brother Sam used to do that more often. I mean, I learned how to uh, act around the old man to keep that from happening, right? But my brother Sam was an idiot, right? And fucking, he used to piss the old man off. And the old man would come fucking after him, right? He looked like a fucking demon monkey from hell. I'd be like, "Holy fuck, is that the old man? We got to scatter," right? Sam would piss him off, right? And then one time, Guy pissed him off, right? Guy acted like he was gonna fuck around with him once. And I'm not even kidding you, man. Fucking old man, fucking lightning like fucking. He fucking grabbed Guy and fucking threw him. Didn't really throw him to the ground. He fucking literally grabbed him and landed on top of him with his knee right in his chest, right? And dude, fucked him up, right? And I remember afterwards, Guy was really freaked out. He's all scared. Fuck, he thought he said his fucking rib cage. He thought he was gonna fucking. And I'm like, "Fuck, the old man landed on your rib cage. Yeah, you're lucky he didn't fucking cave it in, right?" And then the old man felt kind of guilty afterwards because Guy was seriously fucked, right? He wasn't seriously hurt, hospitalized, or anything like that, but he was And he was way freaked out because it was the first time that he had taken a real fucking hit from the old man, because guy was always, we used to call him Square Man Guy, right? Fucking, he was avoid any of that shit, even though he's an instigator as fuck. But yeah, I couldn't believe they just, when I saw him try to fuck around with the old man, and I knew the old man was in a good mood, right? And we were right on the boat. The old man grabbed him and fucking drove him down to the ground and fucking had his knee in his fucking chest so fast that all of us were freaked out, right? And then he got up off him and he's like, God damn it, he got pissed at guy too, right? Don't fuck around. I told you I don't fuck around. You're a fucking foul. You fucked with me, right? And we're all like, right. And I was sitting there thinking, yeah, you got no shit. Yeah, you dumb fuck. Act like you're gonna fuck around with the old man. Don't you realize what a nightmare fucking he is, right? You get it? Dude, no, I fucking knew better. No fucking way in hell, heaven or hell. I don't care if I had multiple weapons. If I didn't have a fucking 44 Magnum, I still wouldn't rely on the 44. He'd still survive long enough to kill me, right? No way. No way. Never take any kind of offensive to that fucker at any way, shape, or form, because he's just fucking mean enough to survive anything till he gets you, right? And that fucking strength he had in his hands, snap your fucking windpipe in a cunt hair. So, no, I've been gripped by him one time, and that was after that. I literally told him, I said, you know what, I'm out. I said, that's it. And after he calmed down, right, I went up and I was sitting. This is after I was older. I think I was already over like 19 or something, right? And I was like, that's it. I'm never come back. It's the last you seen me. I'm gonna go up and stay with my mom, right? And I was convinced of it too, right? And he fucking literally he's a master manipulator, right? Fucking, don't worry, son, never happen again. You're on the paperwork, all that bullshit, right? Somehow manipulated me back. He said never gonna happen again. And to his credit, I think it was the last time he ever laid a hand on me. So, but I know there was times that he would have. That's why I always avoided him a lot. He used to say like, "Hey, we want to hang out, go have a beer." I'm like, "Fuck no, hang around with your dumbass, right? Never know when you're gonna get pissed off and Jack slap me across the room. Fuck that." All right, we're over to 221 now. Let's run through these. If I got any posts to look at, and we'll close this bad boy down so I can go get myself some dinner. I'm fucking hungry. I think I got some leftover chicken or some bullshit up there. But I did get some jars of salmon this year. Woo! Dude, got almost 2 cases. Much better than last year. Last year, I think I had 4 fucking measly jars. Almost 2 cases this year. So much better. Okay, we're looking at all this Hawaii bullshit last time. So we're right around this area. I think I was skipping through them. This might be the one.
This is not the Stonehenge you thought you knew. Like
Okay,
most
right now
of the
they're showing that they're building Stonehenge with modern equipment, and it's fraud, right? And so
history we've been taught, it's just fabrications, mixed with bits of half-truth, to keep us confused and constantly unaware of our true past and our true origins, and what we're truly capable of. For people suppressed and unaware of their true past are all that much easier to control. They tell us it was just a renovation project. But let's see what the grounds looked like before construction. And here's construction beginning.
See, I did a bit on the Sphinx and shit like that. That was like that, and that was exactly what the people were saying in the comments. Oh, they were just cleaning it or refurbishing or whatever, right? No, they were building it.
Another fabrication of history. Napoleon said it best. History is nothing more than a set of lies agreed upon. And it's a set of lies they agreed upon. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
That from Good Lion TV. So yeah, there you go. Okay, this is some of that Hawaii stuff. Okay, look at this. Look at this fakey. Oh, there's no sound. Look at this. Tell me if you think this is real. Look at this little fakey dog. Is that real? Look at it. Wait, what? That's a fucking dummy. Yeah, this looks like a mask right there. All right.
The most sophisticated pharmacy in the universe is in your brain. It's called the hypothalamus, and it produces
Okay,
chemicals
what
on
the fuck were we just talking about a minute ago, right? Now listen to this guy.
demand, consistent with the way you think, feel, and perceive. So if you feel brave, you'll produce a chemical called interleukin-2, which is the most efficient chemical for fighting cancer worldwide. In fact, I checked today, a course of artificial interleukin-2 can cost between $6,000 to $8,000 per course. Your body produces it in the right quantities to go to the right place at the right time. When you feel calm, you produce your own Valium. You don't need Valium from a drug manufacturing company, which has side effects. When you're happy, you produce endorphins and enkephalins. The bottom line here is your body has the ability to heal itself, provided you are thinking the right way. Thinking the wrong way just
All
produces
right, I'm gonna be a jogger and sit here and point at this guy, right? Listen to him. Listen. Oh, hell yeah, remember?
the alternative result. Always focus on the positive. Be brave. Be happy. Be healthy. The most sophisticated pharmacy
I mean, let's do it one more time.
in the universe is in your brain. It's called the hypothalamus, and it produces chemicals on demand, consistent with the way you think, feel, and perceive. So if you feel brave, you'll produce a chemical called
I
interleukin.
wish he would have said, okay, so if you feel sick, then you're gonna produce this shit, right? Or something like that. Or if a Nazi sorcerer convinces you have cancer, right? See, that's taking it one step further, but you get it.
2, which is the most efficient chemical for fighting
Okay,
cancer
that was called interleukin-2.
worldwide. In fact, I checked today, a course of artificial interleukin-2
Interleukin. 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 Okay. Artificial interleukin, he just said multiple thousands.
can cost between $6,000 to $8,000.
Of course it does. But your body will make it for free. If you believe it, but you know, of course, this not starts. Oh no, you got to get it from us. Yeah, there you go. Moving on.
Aloha family. So essentially half of an island's on fire right now in Hawaii, where I am. This is the island of Maui, and as you can see, there's fires all the way from the top of the head, what we call the forehead, all the way down the neck, the throat, all the way down to the chest. So that's a big patch of the island that's burned. Harbors, boats on fire, entire hotels have been lost. Residential areas, people found on the street, passed out from the smoke. Now, do you guys remember California fires and how we had melted glass? And we eventually found out it was because of these dew planes.
Okay.
Also
We're gonna have to cut this one before we get a strike. But we all get it.
You know how dinosaurs don't really exist? They never existed. They were invented by the Royal Society in 1841.
That's fucking Big Bear. Owen fucking Blowing Benjamin. I recognize his fucking voice.
Fact.
The class Dinosauria was
Okay,
originally
now we're hearing that one guy. God, what is his name? Eric DeBay.
defined by Sir Richard Owen of the Royal Society and superintendent of the British Museum Natural History Department in 1842.
All dinosaur bones are replicas made by chicken bones from China. True story. And you know why you can't use real dinosaur bones? Because they claim that they're still radioactive because of the asteroid 66 million years ago.
In what was known as the Great Dinosaur Rush, or the Bone Wars, Edward Drinker Cope of the Academy of Natural Sciences and Othniel Marsh of the Peabody Museum of Natural History began a lifelong rivalry and passion for dinosaur hunting. They started out as friends, but became bitter enemies during a legendary feud involving double-crossing, slander, bribery.
You know how dinosaurs don't really exist?
Okay, that's a good one. Here we go, moving on.
Bliss and love eternal family. Wanted to take the time to talk about.
Okay, here's another one of those due ones. So I think they're gonna nail anybody on this shit. So we're gonna move past.
And something I wanted to point out to you, you know, there are many pictures about the Russian liberating Auschwitz, and there's never any snow, and the snow was honestly that high. And so I have some connection with the Russian embassy, and I was there once, and I said, something puzzles me. Those photos are fakes because there is no snow. And they said, well, yes, they are not fakes, but when the army came, they didn't have cameras, they didn't photograph. So only much later, when they realized we should have pictures of it, they took pictures like you see now. But this is definitely not in Auschwitz and not the liberation of Auschwitz. There were not that many people with clothes and children and no snow.
Right, fascinating.
Ah, fascinating. Fucking A. Just means she just debunked their whole lives.
Did you know if you grab a cherry, run it over cold water and smush it? Get all the fruit off until you're left with the pit. Then grab some sharp cutters, make a little cut in the outer shell because inside of it you'll find the seed. Soak the seed in a bowl of water for about 2 hours. This will rehydrate the seed. Then wet a paper towel, place the seed on top, and sprinkle some cinnamon on it to prevent mold from building up. Fold it and wrap it in a piece of foil. Then store it in the fridge. After some time, check up on it, and you'll see that the seed has sprouted. Plant the seed in a pot with soil, lightly water it, put a bottle over it to create a humid environment, and boom, pretty soon it'll grow into a seedling.
Dude, I mean, see, I want some cherries. And so I got to try this because that would be, that's one of the fucking things that I could probably grow up here is cherries, right? And they're really good for you. And fuck, who would have known that the seed's inside the pit? Anyway, no, that's pretty dope. That's why I keep kind of little things like this, right? And so, but anyway, moving on. Okay, here we go. Lymphatic system. I talk about this all the time because it's like very important, and most people are. This is why they're swollen, because the lymphatic system's puffed up and stagnant and just sitting. It's not moving or anything. It's a sewage system of blood. And so this is from electric roots, and you know, right here, burdock. Burdock is the root that you want to use, or the herb. And so, but yeah, also skin brushing and all that stuff like that. So I always keep these things that I, you know, just so I'll know. Moving on. Okay, here's one from Cosmic Peach, our good friend, and she's coming up pretty good to the Conspiracy Smoke Show, as she's called by Tripoli and others. But here's what happens when you're giving your baby this fucking phony powdered formula, right? I mean, fuck, that's always gotten me. Why the fuck are these mothers, you know, that care about the kids, giving some fucking cheap ass fucking powdered milk bullshit for the whole first part of their life, right? That's all they get. Is this fucked up fucking little powder they mix up, right? Fuck's wrong with that? Anybody? Can anybody tell? Tell me? Huh? They should be having breast milk, right? But most of these young mothers are trash heaps doing fucking God knows what. I don't know, coke, meth, fucking smack, whatever, right? And so they're garbage dumpsters and they want to put it in their baby. So they always go straight to Walmart. All this shit comes straight from China. And you think the fucking shit that they're feeding us has plastic and bullshit in it? Yeah. Guess what's in here? And they call it, what happens is necrotizing, and dude, I hate these fucking names to me. Enterocolitis. Baby formula linked to, you know, this Nazi sorcerer term. But basically, you know, what are you gonna call it? Poisoning? Be the fucking best way to look at it. But yeah. Anyway, there you go. It's all in the fucking formula that all these babies, poor babies, are getting. Okay, here's the satellite images of before and after. There's some things you can notice if you look at it, watch. Over. Okay, close. There's still trees. Gee, look at these trees with leaves. Huh. Man, you think if it burned everything around it. Look at there's green right here, too. Maybe this is Oprah's house or something, right? It's saying, look at, there's still stuff not burned. That doesn't fit the profile either. But anyway, you see what I'm getting at. If you look at it, you'll see a tree. Yeah, maybe it's right there. Anyway, you get what I mean.
This is the historic
Okay, here we go.
banyan tree, 150-year-old majestic tree.
Yeah, look right there. Everything fucking devastated around it, but oh no, tree's still fine, leaves still on it, and everything like that. Nah. If it was hot enough to fucking melt steel, then that fucking tree shouldn't be standing.
Behind the town, it looks like it may have survived. It needs water desperately.
Oh,
To
desperately.
survive.
No, it needs you to stop fucking killing it. You fraud.
We are saying we are out of water. We are not out of water. It's right here.
Moses West, a retired Army Ranger, is the man behind the atmospheric water generator. It takes moisture from the environment.
Oh, I like this one. See, because I read somewhere that there's more water. I mean, this is a big still we're in, right? More water in the atmosphere than at different stages, like evaporating and raining, than there is on the entire Earth. And I was like, oh, actually, that's crazy enough to be the truth, right? And so this is what this guy's doing. He's sucking water right out of the fucking air.
And turns it into clean drinking water. He's literally changing air into water and has changed the clean water game. When it comes to keep...
Because, see, you don't need a filter. Because it's already distilled, right? It fucking evaporated. It's genius.
Keeping us safe and feeling connected, the creative genius and passion of these inventors has made our lives better. And
wait. I don't agree with that part. Because do we all have fucking these generators? No. We're still fucked in the toxic water game. And I imagine he'll probably be getting killed pretty soon.
that has made them unforgettable.
We are saying we are out of water. We are not out of water.
Yeah. It's a mistake. In Italy. Garden. Yeah. It's just something right? I mean, look at it. I mean, if the effects are cheesy, I don't know. Is this legit? That second wave kind of almost looks like it could be legit. Okay, it's looking more legit as it goes, but I mean that first one didn't look too. Okay, now according to the notes from Good Line TV here, he's saying there are wild events going on. Throw in 2 presidential candidates shot and killed within a week of each other. So he must be in other countries, right? But yeah, all this shit going on. I mean, obviously we're in a war-torn world.
I'm wondering if everyone in the cars had to get out and run, why aren't any of the doors open, right? It's a good question. So my neighbor actually was telling me in his office they have teams already over there. But my neighbor is also very aware of the corruption within the government that most people have no idea about. He's retired military. He still works with the government. He just knows they're full of shit. That's the truth. He even believes that that is proof that there was a direct energy weapon used. He said, bro, Kenny, how come they're stuck in the cars? He said, our teams are finding people in the cars, dead in their cars. This is what he's telling me. A lot of people might not know. I'm not that far from Maui. I came to Oahu to work on a project, Save the Children, for the child trafficking. A lot of people don't know the Hawaiian natives are the 8th most trafficked population. So we came to figure out how they're doing it, add information to our website, and to work on that particular part. So I'm here. That's why my neighbor has teams over there from his office. They're military. These are military people. He's just a civilian guy that's in charge because all of his clearances while he was military. He's a good guy, and he literally believes this is proof that there was a direct energy weapon used. He said there's no way. They should be out running. They should be on the side of the car. But no, something happened where it was instant. There was something fueling the fire. Yeah, there was fire, but there was something aiding it. A lot of people say it's not just direct energy. It was like almost like a microwave energy, a different form of direct energy. And that particular form would cause metal to melt, just like if you put a spoon in your microwave. Because I'm telling you, once the car catches on fire a little bit, we're gone. Like all of us would be gone. We'd be darting out. What would prevent a carload of people from getting out? This question needs to be answered. If there's bodies in these cars, like my neighbor's telling me, how come they couldn't get out? Even if something did catch on.
Okay, we get it. Schofield Barracks. Interesting side note, I've actually been Schofield Barracks when I was doing that street team with the radio station there. We went out and did a show at Schofield Barracks. so I know where that's at. Well, that's crazy. It's all in a line like that. Just a line. The lyrics are like that. You know.
By physical endocrine glands or chakra centers. So it's important to understand that if you have a symptom, most symptoms, when you look at chemistry, base, acid. Base is feminine in nature. Acids are male in nature. Acids are aggressive and what we call in chemistry, corrosive. Right? You ladies use acetates or acetones to strip your fingernail polish off. We use it to clean the old shellac off of inside of motors because acids strip. And because acids are so inflammatory, so corrosive, they burn your electrolytes up so fast that, and especially those that are eating acid-forming diets, which means your foods are predominantly acid-forming, meaning you're not putting high electrolyte foods in to buffer all these systemic cellular metabolitic acid waste from the cells. However, it's translated through the nervous system as pain. So you have to look at that and understand that when you're in pain, you're on the acid side of chemistry, and the system that deals with the acid side of chemistry is the great lymphatic system that no one understands well. I think our side of life here understands it by physical endocrine glands.
Wait. I'm going to say, no, I understand it. I understand it well enough to keep the fucking thing clean. But, you know, this is one of those good Nazi sorcerers who's telling you, you know, something that none of the other ones will say, right?
Or chakra centers. So it's important.
Oh, he's done.
The easiest way to do real ice therapy isn't actually.
Wait. See, now somebody told me about this, and I only did it a couple times, and this is going to be my new thing, right? I got to, because you don't really have to go. I don't have to go immerse myself totally in the creek anymore. All you have to do is this: you fucking put your face in ice water, right? I know it's not too easy to do.
A cold shower, although that helps. And we've probably both talked about cold showers. Hit your face, hit your chest for a minute. The cheapest and easiest way to get that, at least to get many of the benefits, is a salad bowl. And you take a salad.
See, because people always ask me this too, right? Because I have a cold creek here. You don't in California. You don't other places, right? But you have a salad bowl with ice cubes, right?
Bowl as big as your face. You put some water in it and freeze it overnight. The next day, when you want ice therapy, pour some cold water in there, let the ice chill it, take a deep breath, and bend forward and stick your face in the water as long as you can, which is probably going to be about 8 to 10 seconds before you get a cold headache. And then you go,
yeah, I mean, per moment, right? But you can sit there. What I was doing was putting half of my face in and then turn the other half and turn the other, because you got to breathe too, right? And it's fucking sitting there fucking immersed in it. And what I wanted to do after I did it a few times, I thought, fuck, you know what? If I get a straw or something to breathe out of, that'll make it easier to do. But yeah, it's easier than 8 or 10 seconds after you get used to it.
Sucked. And you do it a couple more times. And then the next day you do it again. And now you didn't spend any money on ice, but since most of your temperature receptors, or at least the densest ones, are on your face, and you get your vagus nerve that way, you actually get really strong biological benefits, and it didn't cost you anything. And you do this every night, and magically your sleep improves, your nervous system gets stronger.
Wow. So you can actually like acclimate to colder temperatures by
the easiest.
So that's the thing I noticed too, is that after sitting in the creek, after I first started doing it, the cold didn't bother me hardly that much anymore. And I literally be fucking out and wearing shorts still, right? But yeah. You acclimate to it. But what I heard is that you don't do it at night, you do it in the morning, right? And so maybe do it both times is what I'm thinking. Because the reason why the other guy told me about it is that there was I don't know, it's one of these I think it was, dude, remember that old boy that was not the guy who hosted the Gong Show, but one of the guys that was always on it? Other bigger fat guy, but he had nice tight skin. He said that's what he swore by. He in the morning he would fucking ice bath his face, and it would, you know, tighten up. And I noticed that when I started sitting in the creek too, I'd splash water on my face, and it would, you know, actually tighten your skin up. And so, but this is intriguing to me because what he just said, you know, the nerves in your face are the most sensitive, and so that cold is going to affect the whole body. And so you don't have to sit there and, you know, have a creek. like I do, or go immerse yourself totally in it. You just fucking put your face in that ice water. It's a little harder, but I'm interested in it. I'm gonna start doing it. I'll let you know how it goes.
Way to do real ice therapy isn't actually
moving on. Okay, here's Hillary. No, dud completely. Got a buddy down there told me total dud. Look at this thing. Anybody see this fucking thing? Something like this before? There's a gigantic bug, right? They call it a katydid. The giant Malaysian katydid native to forest. But look, it's like a grasshopper or something, or some fucking kind of. Look at this thing. Look at this hole it makes when it makes this noise. Or all those wings or something, man. Isn't that crazy? I just kept that for that, but trippy.
Time is not linear. Time moves in a curve.
Okay, this is one of those fucking ones, all theoretically and fucking heady, right? You think about this shit, right? But I'm just wondering if you guys you listen to it too, see if you got something out of it, because I'm still wondering if I did.
We have different examples of this, like our watches and clocks. Everything is in a circle. Applying a loving energy over a curvature that allows me to sit at a different seat of consciousness where I can look back at any event that took place in my life and apply that loving energy into that space to then start to change the present moment of now. So I'm actually sitting at the seat of cause.
Okay, I get what he's talking about for the accessing the power of now, right? Because I did that whole Eckhart Tolle thing, right? I mean, I don't know if you ever know, if any of you guys know who Eckhart Tolle is, but this is when I was doing my body transformation and everything. Man, I listened to that Eckhart Tolle thing every time I went for a run. And because I didn't really quite, I mean, it takes a while to get it, right? But once you do get it, you're like, fuck. Basically what he's talking about is there's no such thing as the past or the present or the future. There's only right now, right? Because you don't do anything, you don't go to the past to do stuff, or you don't go to the future, you're never going to do anything anywhere except for right now, right? The eternal now, as they call it. So I get that part, but this is how he's saying how you affect your past and future, or I don't know, right? Let's listen to it.
It's to constantly affect every moment in time from any perspective that it can be affected. Everything is starting to adjust itself from the moment that I live in now. The moment that I live in now is forever eternal. I'm bending time to this moment instead of me being in relationship to those moments.
Okay, so kind of what I'm getting here, and I'm going to ask you guys if you're getting the same thing too, right? This is how they always say you create your own world kind of thing. But we all know we didn't create a fucking world dominated by pedophiles, right? No. But this is how they're saying how you will be able to affect your future by your attitude now. I'm getting that part, but I mean, how the fuck are we gonna do that, right? Just gotta be positive all the time. Fuck, dude, we all try to do that, and still bad shit happens. So here we go.
It's the equivalent of going within. When you go within, everything outside of you changes. When you actually understand that you are at the seat of cause, everything outside of you starts to change. And when you understand that time is infinite and only now, everything outside of you starts to change.
See that phrase right there that he said? Time is infinite and only now. Right? That's where you start to get, right into the fucking shit. Like, what? Got a couple comments here real quick. Let's see. One more's got a few. Oh, okay. He will use BS chopper when he died. Yeah. That's cool. That's awesome, man. At least you got something. See, my old man had a bike too, and I actually asked him. He asked me, "What is there something you want, son?" Because I never really asked him for anything, right? I didn't want any of his shit, and I did finally say, "Okay, how about a motorcycle? You got a motorcycle?" He goes, "Oh, I gotta sell that, blah blah blah." Right? So he wasn't gonna fucking give me anything, lying fuck. But I'm glad you got some. One more. I fought my dad many times in the past, broke his ribs, broke his legs, broke his arm. And after a few fights when I got older, I told him, "No more, I will kill you." Hey, lucky you. You're at least able to take your old man, right? No way in fucking hell. I'm trusting you, dude. When I don't want to piss you off, but trust me, you couldn't take my old man. Nobody could. I'm not even kidding you. And everybody knew it. People have tried. Many people failed. Just the dumbest fucks would try, right? I remember there was this big motherfucker too that was like literally fucking way bigger than my old man, right? My old man wasn't even that big a guy. He was about the same height I am, just under 6 foot. But he was just a savage motherfucker, right? What they call the red rage, right? And no can defend, right? No can defend. Decimate anybody. And so I'm glad you were able to take your old man, though. I wish I could have, because I'm a small guy, right? I'm not that big. You're a pretty big guy. Luckily, you're able to take him. I don't care. My old man, when he was dying in that bed, and I described the story where I was laid out there, dude, when I grabbed his hand, he gripped it back, and I was like, oh, fuck, man. Dude, motherfucker, right? It was still sketchy, right? And so, yeah. Lucky you got to fucking beat him up. Could only dream of that. I mean, in the next plane, I'm going to be able to, I'll be far superior to him. He left this plane very scared. He's going to be like, unfortunately, when you do that, you're like a little gnat compared to the immortal being you could be. And so on the next plane, dude, think he's going to have a fucking hope in hell against me? No. And I'll probably never see him anyway. One more. We became friends though before he died, and I forgave him. Good for you, because that never happened with me and my dad. One more. Water generator is a dehumidifier, isn't it? Well, you could say that, but not what that guy was showing. Remember, he's showing fucking lots of water. No, a dehumidifier gonna suck a little bit of water out of the air, but not like that. What that guy was doing, and that's why whole invention thing, right? But anyway, getting back to this guy with the whole time thing. Anybody got any thoughts on that? Let's finish it up.
So when you can actually apply that loving energy onto the present moment of now, everything outside of you starts to change. And that's where this effect starts to happen much differently. And you start to use the law of mentalism, the law of correspondence, and the law of vibration in order to alchemize the world that you live in now, because then it all happens from the inside out. Time is not.
Now, I agree with multiple points of this, like you said, the inside out and stuff like that. But I mean, I mean, it's like, okay, so you could use your mind to find $1 million. No, I'm sure that's not how it works. But to at least change the circumstances that are coming at you, and this is what intrigues me too, because I have all this hate coming in at me for, what did I do? I took care of my mom. Wow, gee, should I be hated and all that by these strange folk that I'm affiliated with, right? And this is what this whole thing that gets me, right? Because I've never really done anything against any of them. I've actually tried to help a lot of them, right? And I'll do virtually anything for most of them until they beat it out of me, right? And I still feel sad that they hate me so much, right? And I keep wondering, what the fuck am I doing to affect time so bad that I get this, right? But remember I was telling you I ran into that the CIA thing, right, on remote viewing and all that shit, and it's on YouTube, and they call about that you can use that binaural beat stuff before you go to sleep and visualize what they call manifesting, right? And that it's really effective. Hey, I'm desperate. I am going to start trying that again. And I only did it one night, and I felt really good, and I slept good. First time I ever slept good, right? And so but I've been so busy and shit like that. Usually by the time I'm ready to go to bed, it's just like, fuck, I'm just dropping out. And I don't want to set up, because I've set my computer up over here. No, I know it's hard. And then you got to listen to it on headphones too. You can't listen to it through a speaker or anything like that. You got to have the headphones in your ears. So I'm a side sleeper, so it's hard for me to do that. So what I have to literally do is lay on my back until I'm ready to sleep and listen to it for as long as I can, and then pull the headphones off and go to sleep, right? But that's what makes it so difficult for me to do. But I'd say somebody's got to try it out and go along this experiment with me, because they're saying that this guy got so good at it that he was using it to manifest women in his life, right? And I could see that. He was a young guy, and he said that he got in trouble with that because he was just going for, like, looks and stuff like that, not for their character, and so he manifested some dangerous women into his life. And I go, well, fuck, as long as he's not doing that, probably wouldn't be getting any. I thought he was talking about, oh, he manifested a demon or something, right? And it's nothing like that. So moving on.
I'll give you 3 things now that will start rewiring neural pathways. Please go.
Okay, here's another one of these super smart guys that the joggers curate, right? But this is also some good stuff of controlling the mind, right? Here we go.
Up in the morning. Get up early in the morning. Not early, just get up in the morning. If you get up at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, go straight into the bathroom. If you brush your teeth with your right hand, start brushing with the left. Look into the mirror. Now we're talking to the subconscious brain. Eye to eye in the mirror and say, I love you 10 times. When you finish that, let's get some oxygen inside you to start the day. Exaggerated breaths to start the day. That rewires straight away.
How many breaths?
I always tell my guys do 25 in the morning, 25 lunchtime, 25 in the evening.
Okay, so left-handed teeth brushing.
Yes.
Look straight in the eye in the mirror. I love you. I love you. I love you 10 times.
Yes.
And exaggerated breaths. 25.
Change your life. I'll give you 3 things now that will start.
See now, you know, this is some pretty good shit. I like it. And so, but you know, force yourself to do that. I brush my teeth with my left hand often, right? Because my right wrist is usually, this is where I do all the slicing and all the when I'm making drums, dude. My right hand does all the work, right? It does. I mean, I literally have to fucking, when I'm making the drums, I had to make a fucking big batch of them too. And you literally got to glue them together. And every step, of course, it's all right wrist, right? And so I'm always looking for anything I can do with my left hand, so I don't have to continually wearing my poor right hand out. And so it sounds interesting. That's why I'm glad I'm going through this. I got to write these notes down, and usually what I have to do is write the notes down and hang it up, and so I can see the notes and remind me, oh yeah, you got to do this, right? And so that's kind of how I'm going to try it. But things got to change, baby, especially for me here, right? Going through too much shit. I need something, right? I need something to relieve me of all this hatred. So here we go. Okay, this was not a video, so it says breaking. Russia has allegedly submitted 2,000 pages worth of evidence to the UN, which accuses the big pharma and the deep state of the baloney virus. So yeah, here we go.
Don't let it be the day.
Okay, this is showing the actors wearing the Biden mask. Well, kill this fucking music, but you'll see that they'll show at the end, they're going to show a flap on the ear or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, this is just multiple people playing the one actor or the one character. But yeah, you see how different the faces are from throughout the years, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's basically it. Oh, this cunt's going to say something.
There is a plane right overhead.
This could be the day.
All right, this one's not really too intriguing, but there's the flap. There's the little mask flap. So let's see what we got. Okay, this one right here. Now, this is another one of the picture ones. This is from PCS 1308, and he's warning about this. You know how they're pushing for the real ID, right? And I don't have one of these, and I will not get one. And so, luckily here in Alaska, they're not trying to push for it too hard, right? And so now, you know how they've all been saying it's going to be 2020, 20, whatever, right? They pushed it back to 2025 now. Oh, what's that fucking correlate with that we've all been talking about, right? When they want to have the population reviews. So they're saying that there's a lot more to this ID than just to be in a card. And it literally will collect your biometric data and all kinds of shit because they got the tech right in the card, right? And so all kinds of shit like that. And this is talking about how you got to become the secured party creditor or whatever for your own name before that happens, or it's going to be harder for you to get back out of it. And so we got till 2025 to get off the straw man. Okay, here's Good Line TV showing a map of the fires in Canada versus US. And I mean, literally showing a shitload of them. So yeah, they're torching that place around. Remember what I used to say? Get your weenies out, it's going to burn. Apparently that's Canada now. Here, hold on, this guy.
Seeds, and you put them literally like on a chia pet or on an unglazed clay pot or saucer. In about a week, they will grow 20 times their size. They'll increase, they will grow soluble and insoluble fiber, the omega-3, and you'll have chlorophyll, and it'll be like a little leafy green accent. And you can eat the whole thing. The root, the stem, the leaf, everything is edible. If you soak the chia seeds and you put them literally like on chia.
Yeah, no, this is probably why they make the chia pet, right? So that way you're wasting this incredible food source, right? That's what I thought of when I saw this, right? The chia seed. There you go. So rolling on. Anybody still in the room? I don't even know. Can't tell. Can't see it. But we're gonna roll through this real quick and close it down. Probably bored everybody to death by now.
People here. Maybe it's different for you because you just got here, huh?
Here's the Maui police chief just walking past people trying to ask them questions, being a real prick.
So it's not the same. It's not the same.
No comment.
You have to look up one photo.
No comment right now.
No comment?
Yeah.
I'm talking to the chief, sir.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he want to speak to the people? Only to a camera.
We can hear singing.
No, we called up. We've been looking for him. I thought we were going to do Top Story Tuesdays all over the island. Chief, have a coffee. Haven't seen him. Been looking for him.
Hey, you can look. You see right by the fucking look on this fuckhead's face that he's not saying nothing. The orders have been passed down by his whoish masters to literally keep a tight lip, and so he's doing it. He's earning that pension. All right, we got through it. Boom, and so it's gone. Hey, we still got 2 people in the room. Hey, congratulations, you made it through my fucking diatribe. Anyway, thanks for joining so much. You still have time to boost your immune system now. I see the InfoWars got a stale on like they always do. There's a few things missing out of there, but you can still get the super female vitality for a good deal. And man, I have been fucking saying this forever that I got to buy some stuff in there. And every time I end up going down to just the bottom dollar again. And I always think, God, I'm glad that I didn't have to buy supplements because I still have some, but I want to add more to the stockpile, right? And it's always been that way. But I literally have to bite the bullet and buy a fucking filter because I need one. I can tell my shower filter's played out. And so I got to get that fucking thing at least the minimum. And so I'm going to at least get one of those and see what they got on there. But get the stuff you're going to need. Start stocking up on that fucking toilet paper right now if you ain't got any, because you know it's coming. You're not going to be able to use your mask. But you know what I mean? It's right now where we all know what's coming. We've known what's coming forever. Let's just go ahead and get prepped up. Keep your mindset right. Boost the immune system now. As I constantly say, I'm a broken record on that bullshit, right? And so keep your spirits up. Get some good food in you now. Have some fun. Get out there. Give somebody a hug. These times are coming down. I know. I tell everybody that. When was the last time I got a hug? Long fucking time ago. I'll tell you what. No, I got to tell you guys right now, I did have a visitor who came and stayed with me, a friend of mine from years back. I worked with him here in Anchorage and then down in Southeast, and he's been in New Orleans. He just came up to go and work for some friends because this is the off season for them, right? And so he went up to go work on a weed farm. Lucky fucker. And so he stopped by here because he had to get his card and stuff. So he had a few days to kill, and he was here for maybe 4 or 5 days, right? Or 3 or 4 days, something like that. But it was awesome having a bro here, right? And so we had a good time. The only bad part was that he liked to keep the door open, right? That was it. Other than that, he was awesome. My bro CD, he freaking was. He even pitched in on the grocery bill and shit like that, right? And no, totally cool. Cleaned up after himself. Everything very respectful. Slept in my mom's room. Made sure it was all good and everything before he left. And I was like, fucking A, my boy CD, right? And he's always welcome here because he had mad respect for the place. And after I told him, if we just close the door, he fully did it. I was just joking about that, right? Oh, they close my door. No, it wasn't like that. There was not many mosquitoes, so I didn't really give a fuck, right? And so, but no, very, very cool guy. Good friend of mine was here. And so he might stop back on the way back. I'm not sure. I kind of hope he does because it was cool having a friend, right? Having a friend and be able to talk to him. Most of the time I was working on all kinds of shit too, right? And so he would be, when I was working, he'd just chill out on the deck and burn the spleefs. And but he had a great time. And I fuck herself at a wheat farm right now. I know he's a lucky guy, man. He always, and he said he could get me a job down there in New Orleans at this fucking, he works at one of the badass restaurants down there. I'm not even kidding you, man. I saw the picture of this place, and it's one of those, where they're all spiffied up. Everybody's, it's one of those high end fucking places where, they make bank. And so I was impressed by it. It was a very beautiful spot. And so, I could see why, he's hanging on to that shit. But having to live in New Orleans, man, oh my God, I couldn't do it. I could visit, but I mean, to live there, I mean, I was down there once. It's too hot, too humid for me. And plus it's haunted as fuck. And plus, about ready to go underwater again. But you know what I mean. Anyway, big love. Thanks so much for joining, everybody. Thanks, Winmore, for being in there too. Good sport this time. Thanks for coming in, Red. Saying, yeah, thank you too. Hey, I did I text you? I thought I texted you, but you can hit me up anytime. And everybody, keep everybody going. Have a good time. Keep your spirits up. Get ready for the aliens. They're right around the corner. I have to say that. And Shadow didn't make it back. I was kind of stalling for that, But anyway, big love, everybody. I'll catch you back here, God willing, next week. And so let's have some more fun. Let's keep each other going. Looks like we're going to be able to make it at least until this, towards the election, I'll say. But like I said, they're going to bring this incrementally in, and they're going to start in, next month, September. They're going to start incrementing it in. And so how long will it take them to do it? I mean, I think they're going to test their footing because, nobody's going to want to go along with this. They're going to be like, what the fuck, man? Are you kidding me again with this? And so what I think might happen, and this is my prediction for the final thing, is that they probably will start to poison different areas of these big cities. And then, remember I told you this a long time ago, hit you with some radiation poison, make it fucking collapse in the street, film it, put it on every TV. See, new baloney. And the dumb fucks will eat it up with fucking fork, spoon, knife, put the bib on. So be ready for that. I think that's the only way they're going to be able to get any type of compliance is to literally, and I said that's, 2 fucking years ago? So the next one's going to be, they're literally going to hit some people and have them drop in the street, and then those retards will be lining up for the Kool-Aid. So Loken says, thanks for seeing that. Thank you too. Thanks for being here. I'm probably going to keep putting up. I'm telling you, man, there's only a few things that give me any freaking fun in here. And one of them is that stupid karaoke, right? I think I sing. But be ready. I literally recorded the Amir Pond song. And so I also have to just mix it and do the puppet work. It's going to take a few days, but be ready to see that here pretty soon. So I hope you can upload stream on your backup channel. No, even on BitChute. That's the only place where I'm going to put them because I can get away. BitChute has not put down anything yet. And so the only way, plus they're going to be these big, long fucking streams because they're big, huge things. So I'm going to have to chunk them up unless it'll take fucking 3 hours to upload, right? And so those live streams, man, that's why I can't carry on so long. 3 fucking hours. So anyway, yeah, big love. And what I'm probably going to do is take and have chunks of it, the important chunks, and put them up, kind of like how Slow Boy does with her videos and stuff like that, right? Just take the important chunk, put it up. So, yeah, the ones that are taken down, I still have access to the last one, but not for long. I'm going to try to get that loaded maybe even tonight, but we'll see. But the ones that are still up, yeah, I got to start downloading those. They do take a while to download, right? And so, especially the longer ones, man. Sit here, I mean, they take a grip, right? Because they're not smile files, right? So you got to sit there, set it up, and go do some work, and then come back and check on it. This is how I'm doing. But I've got a couple of the more important ones saved. But thanks for bringing that up, because yeah, I got to remind myself too. So, all right, big love, everybody. Catch you back here next time. Give somebody a hug, have some fun, get some good food in you, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.